Welcome back to Man Down Sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, Ralph Sampson. Did I say that? My country accent. Ralph Sampson. He was on All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. And Ralph Sampson is an absolute legend. If y'all don't know about the Twin Towers, first of all, let's back it up to Virginia. You know when he played in the ACC, unguardable, unstoppable, 7'4" center, very athletic, slim. You know, had a nice touch around the rim, had the jump shot. He had everything. Block shots, played defense, very agile. Was an absolute monster, and then went on to Houston, played for Houston, had good years there. Then Hakeem Olajuwon came, and they played side by side as the Twin Towers, and they took down the Los Angeles Lakers and kind of in their peak. You know, I think Ralph Sampson hit a famous game winner. At the end of the day, man, he's just an absolute legend. A lot of people say that what we see in Wembanyama, is what capabilities Ralph Sampson had in his heyday. But you know, of course, centers, especially of that side, wasn't allowed to even showcase much of their outside game or much of their perimeter game, and putting their ball on the floor and all that stuff, man. But Ralph Sampson, if you go back and watch him, he was a stud. So I love the fact that All the Smoke got him on for an interview. He had a lot of good things to say, talking about his journey and all that stuff, and you know, things that happened around him. Talked about Hakeem and stuff like that. So it was a good interview, but it was a couple of things I saw in there that I wanted to pick out. And as you coming in here, make sure you hit the like button. And if you're new here, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button as well, and hit the share button so we can get this because this is gonna be a good show. And y'all getting probably 5 topics today if I can move along quickly with it. We'll open the phone lines up as well. I know it's football Sunday, but I didn't get a solo episode in last week, man. So I'm trying to get it in from some of the things I've seen throughout the week. Yeah, so hit that like button. Victor Santiago, what's up? What's up? Woodage. I don't even know if I can say that name. Woodage. Posh King in the house. Sierra is in the house. VC in the house. Horizons. Yo, what? Yeah. Hey, where y'all from, man? Where everybody from? Tell me where y'all from. I want to know who I got in the chat. And I got one moderator. My moderator's been falling off lately. They've been catching the show late. They ain't been catching the lives. I got one moderator. I think that's enough for what we got until we get a bigger crowd. But I see Atlanta in the house. Man, what's popping down in Atlanta? Detroit, Illinois, everybody East Coast. So it's kind of late where y'all at. Australia, what's good? What's good? Australia. I didn't know. Hold on. I've seen Sierra Osceolet. I don't know if I'm saying that name right. I've seen that name a couple of times. I didn't know you was from down under. What's up, Love Faith? Right hand cam was popping. Some of my members in here. WW Terrence Thompson, North Carolina. What part of North Carolina, Terrence? You know I'm from North Carolina too, right? Denver. You're watching Sunday Night Football. Yeah. Look, I was watching football as well, but so look, my picks was my first of all, my fantasy football was going so well. I was like, I don't even need to watch the rest of this, man. I got like it's almost a bye week for me. I got so many points from my guys, man. I got that win in the book. I catch the rest of Sunday Night Football after I finish with this live, or I might catch the replay. Oh, Greenville. Okay, yeah. I played a team in Greenville, a couple of teams in Greenville. I played Kinston and a Greenville team, and got our butts whooped thoroughly. Traveled all the way up there to get whooped. Texas in the house, Milwaukee. All right. Okay. All right. Bet. Oh, Dominican Republic. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Ralph Sampson, man. I know y'all tired of hearing all these old school dudes pick Mike over LeBron, man, but I know it really make LeBron fans mad when they pick Mike over LeBron, explain why, and then lump Kobe in and say Kobe is the same exact animal as Mike. And they put Kobe over LeBron. So I know that just irks y'all nerds because you're like, how? Look at all LeBron's stats. Brian got all these stats. And then Kobe sat on the bench behind Eddie Jones, and And LeBron came in and had so much pressure on his shoulders, and LeBron didn't have no daddy. And LeBron is a good husband and all this stuff. I know it hurts. Like, man, this dude has no blemishes on his record. He's the perfect father, the perfect husband, perfect politician. China loves him. Yeah, Kobe can't possibly be over him, and we're talking about basketball, and y'all just throwing in all types of other stuff that don't even matter. So I know it hurts y'all that Kobe is on the coattail of Michael Jordan because they're carbon copies. They cut from the same cloth mentally. They got the same type of heart and drive. All of that stuff. They played defense their whole career. Like all the things that LeBron doesn't stand for. They won more than 4 rings. They didn't team hop from team to team and form super teams. All of these things that put Mike and Kobe in a league of their own. And poor little LeBron comes after that, right? Which is cool. Ain't nothing wrong with being number 5 or 6 or something like that all time. Being inside the top 10 that's great company, right? So I don't know why people have such a hissy fit that we're putting greats like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bird and Magic and Tim Duncan and Hakeem and Durant, like all those greats. It's just a little bit of greats in front of LeBron, and then you can start the debate with Bill Russell and Wilt and LeBron, and Karl Malone. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know why it's such a big deal. But once again, another all-time great is speaking his truth, right? He's speaking his truth and he's saying, yeah, it's Mike for me, dog, and Kobe's right there. So let's hear what Ralph Sampson said.
Rank these 3 in your opinion: MJ, LeBron, Kobe.
Because I played against MJ, college and pro. He's the number one. But what I like about MJ was he could bounce back. He was a student of the game. He built a mindset that no one has ever done, pretty much, right? And he wanted to win. And he was put in a situation in the league against the bad boys, and where they're trying to kill him, against Boston when he's trying to kill him. And you see the one against Boston where he's doing his dance on Bird and whatever, and he's fading. Even then, they almost scored 60 points. The mindset is if you talk about mindset, he's got the best one. He's got maybe the best game, but he got the best one, because if he didn't have the mindset, the game
wouldn't be the killer he was.
Right. And Kobe followed that. And I rank them in order because of their career, right? And LeBron would be next. And everybody says LeBron doesn't have the same mindset. Well, he didn't have to, because he's stronger than anybody else. And he can play for another 5 years.
Yeah.
He's going to stay in shape. I'm shooting jumpers.
6'8", 260, you can't do
But I
don't
beat anybody up with it. You got to be physical. He got to be physical. I hope he goes back to Cleveland and win a championship there.
I just said that earlier.
You did yesterday.
They got a squad. He go back and walk at home and win the championship.
That's going to help his legacy.
Yeah.
But he keep losing, it ain't going to help.
Steven Jackson had to throw that in. He keep losing, ain't going to help his legacy. He's already lost enough where it's not going to help his legacy as far as that conversation with Mike and Kobe and Kareem. But I guess that'll help his legacy if he keep playing, and compiling stats to get above all the other guys that might be in the conversation with him, like Shaq and Hakeem and Duncan and all that stuff, man. So it might work for them, but unfortunately, the most important part of the conversation of why people think Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant is so far apart from everybody is how good they are as players. That's the first and foremost thing that people are measuring. They're measuring how good the person or the player is as a basketball player. Like, how good are you? How close to perfection are you as an offensive player and a defensive player, and as a player with mentality and heart? Like, those 3 things: heart, mentality, those intangibles, and then offense and defense, scoring and defending. Like, Michael Jordan and Kobe was daggone near flawless as scorers. Everywhere on the floor was their hot spot. Everywhere. You can't leave them open from anywhere. They don't need the ball to do it. They can do it with the ball. They don't need to be on the perimeter to do it. They can do it on the perimeter. They can do it in the post. They can do it in the mid range. They can catch and shoot. They can spread the floor. They can cut. They can move without the ball. Like they can get above the rim. They're strong. Like you can't put them at the free throw line and pray they miss. Like it was just no weakness. They could pass the ball as well. No weaknesses. And what Ralph Sampson said was very important is that he said Michael Jordan, he talked about the era and he talked about Detroit and how they beat him up and all that stuff. So basically what he's saying is the era and the path that Michael Jordan had to take, right, to become the player that he ended up becoming was a very tough path. It's the same thing Hakeem said years ago. He said it's an unfair comparison comparing Mike and LeBron because Michael Jordan is a far superior player and he played in a more advanced era and a tougher era, right? That makes you better. If I make it harder on you and you overcome that, it's going to turn you into something better. Pressure makes diamonds or whatever the case may be. You know, and you got to crack some eggs to make some omelets, right? So, you know, the pressure's got to be the environment has to be there, and be tough enough where this player comes out on the other end refined, not raw, right? So the unfortunate thing for this era of basketball players like LeBron, KD, and Steph is they had a commissioner that was making things easier for them and harder for defenders. So scoring became inflated, stats became inflated as well. So you can't even look at LeBron's stats and say, oh, well, this is what he's averaging and compare him to someone that played in a tougher era because you played in the era that is actually giving those points, assists, and rebounds away by the way they changed the game and changed the style of the NBA. There's more rebounds to be had. There's more points to be had. There's more assists to be had. The only thing is harder to do is defend. It's easier to score. It's easier to get stats. So you can't even use that. That's not even impressive no more based on the environment. So Ralph Sampson said that one thing. He talked about Michael Jordan's mentality to get through that. And he said without that mentality, and I'm going to add without that environment, right? Because you got to have that. You got to have his mentality to survive that environment. So the tough environment with the mentality of Michael Jordan to want to push through that created a more refined player, a better player. And he said it ain't just his mentality. It's also he's the better player as well. And he's the better player because of the environment and because of the mentality. And we all agree that LeBron don't have that mentality. So after he finished describing how great Mike was and why, and then he said, and Kobe is right there, cut from the same cloth, handcuffed, right? You can't be the best player all time, and then we have a player that got as closest to him than anybody else, and then say it's 5 people ahead of him, like where they rank Kobe at like number 8. You can't rank Jordan at number 1 and have this guy that's a carbon copy be ranked number 8 and has 6 or 7 people in front of him. Mike and Kobe are handcuffed together. They're handcuffed. Where Mike goes, Kobe go. Mike is a little higher, maybe a lot higher, right? So Mike might be on the throne here, and it might be a gap between Mike and Kobe, but Kobe is second. And then you can put Kareem. Well, I'm sorry. Kobe is second as a player. I got him third on the all-time greatest list. I think those are 2 different lists. I think the best player I ever seen is Mike. The second best player I ever seen is Kobe. But the GOAT list is a combination of how good you are as a player and how good your resume is. And I think Kareem is not better than Kobe as a player, but he's right there. But his resume blows Kobe's out of the water. So that lands Kareem number 2, and then that lands Kobe number 3 on the all-time greatest list. And then the debate starts with Wilt, Bill, Duncan, Hakeem, Magic, Bird, LeBron. You can start that debate with all those guys at number 4, but number 3 is solid for me, right? Very solid. Let me see what y'all saying. Nino said I have no problem with the order 1 through 11, but they act like the way the game was called wasn't changed for MJ as well. Well, so Nino, here's the thing though. The game was changed, right? But it was changed from one extreme, right? Because we all can admit that what they was doing in the 70s and 80s was like close to football. It was close to rugby, right? It was very insane. A lot of fights on the ground, on the field. I mean, it was hockey with sneakers on in the basketball. You know what I'm saying? So that was the far extreme. That's the worst we've seen the physicality. That's on one extreme what we don't want. And the rule book has it. All right, let's see. Let's put it here. This is the far extreme with too much physicality, and this is the extreme with no physicality, right? So what we are seeing now is the league with the least amount of physicality we've ever seen it. What we seen when Jordan played was the league with the most amount of physicality we've ever seen it. The rule change that David Stern did in Michael Jordan's time was to put it right here in the middle where the rule book said it's supposed to be. It was just enough physicality to be a physical game, but not too much physicality, right? But it wasn't also a cakewalk, what we got now. So they moved it from one extreme to the middle where it was supposed to be. And that's why we seen the most growth in the sport in the 90s, because it was the best of both worlds in so many different ways. It was we had the best player. We had the best rules. Marketing just exploded. We had rivalries. We had teams all over the place. The basketball was as real as it could get, right? Because now even with us having the far extreme of no physicality in this era, we also got the far extreme of how much games are being manipulated and rigged by Vegas and all this stuff. Like, it's so much. Everything in the 90s, you know, because it was just hitting its bone. All of that stuff was perfectly in the middle where it should be. And it sustained for a little while. But both extremes are not good. It needs to be a balance. And there was a perfect balance in the 90s. I hope that makes sense. Right? I hope that makes sense for sure. All right. So I think, as a matter of fact, I think I got I might have a graphic for that. I may have made a graphic, and I did make a graphic for that, right? So all the way to the far right where you see the red, where it says Jordan rules, the type of fouling that they was doing, that was the bad way to play basketball with too much physicality. Right there in the middle where it says the NBA rule book, in the middle, that's where you're supposed to be at. A balance of good physicality and some freedom of movement as well. But you're actually enforcing the rule book the way it's supposed to be enforced. What we have now is another change, but they went to the opposite extreme of no physicality, which made it more points being scored, which made weaker players. The way Jordan played it then in the 80s and late 80s, it made a better player out of him. So when they put the rules the way it's supposed to be in the middle, he dominated. And he would dominate even more in this era. Right? That makes sense? I hope that makes sense. I really do hope it makes sense, right? Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Do I got a super chat? It's not that serious. He said, thank you for bringing out the distinction between all-time great just opposed to all-time greats with accomplishments. There's a difference. It is a difference. Yeah, and I mean, great in a player is a player. You know what I'm saying? Who's the best player? Who's the best player I ever seen? Then who's the greatest player based on what they accomplish, plus how good they are as a player. So when you put those together, I think that's where I get my greatest list up from. Right. So, but one has to be done before the other. Right. So that was Ralph Sampson saying that. Right. So I'm gonna keep it on Mike, Kobe, and LeBron for a second, because the GOAT debate kind of heated up on Club Shay Shay with Paul Pierce. and Paul Pierce goes on Club Shay Shay, and of course, Shannon Sharp, he always want to bring up, when he get a basketball player, he always want to bring up the GOAT debate, right? And he asked questions to Paul Pierce about LeBron and Mike, like he always do. Now, Paul Pierce didn't do a very, very good job of explaining all of this stuff. He was trying, so I'm gonna try to kind of decipher what Paul is saying and give you commentary. You know, I got this clipped up. You got to bear with me because I got to start and stop it because it's long. I think it's like 6 minutes, right? So I probably try to go 2 minutes and not stop it, right? So, and then we'll talk about it. All right, and then y'all let me know what y'all thinking about it in the comment section, and I'm gonna open the phone lines up right after this. But here's Club Shay Shay and Paul Pierce.
Why is it you don't think that Jordan is better than LeBron? You saw them both.
I did. I saw him in person.
Like, come on.
Go James, man.
Come on, Shad.
I mean, because you think about it.
Come on.
Because he could do more. He could rebound better.
So what do we go off of, dude? Because this is the argument that I have today. Like, you know, like better player is one thing.
Yes.
Like, is he just like, let's take away all the accolades?
Yes.
Like LeBron is probably the greatest player of the game, right? But it's unfortunate we got to add the accolades. Yeah, we have to add.
So we gonna
team success.
So how many? So we gonna put those like 20 All NBA selections in there. 21 All NBA selections.
Yeah,
we're gonna put it in there. Okay.
We're gonna put that in.
We're gonna put those 20.
No, we're not gonna put those in.
Oh, okay. We're not gonna do accolades.
This is what we're gonna do.
Okay, we're gonna do.
We're gonna take the 15 years or 13 years Jordan played, the first, and let's match him up with the 15 years.
My guy's still playing.
Huh?
My guy's still playing. You can't say this guy. If this guy was,
so we're crediting longevity as a reason.
You make it seem like LeBron just out there.
No, he's not out there. But I'm
All
saying
NBA
at
selection.
The peak of your superpowers.
Did you see Jordan in Washington?
I never seen Jordan disappoint in a big moment.
Did you see Jordan in Washington?
Yeah, I played against Jordan in Washington.
Yeah.
That was like a farewell tour.
We don't do. My guy's still going at 23. Ain't no farewell. Ain't no telling when this going. Ain't no telling.
Hey, we gonna be dead when he retires.
We got a book that's 1,000 pages and ain't the end yet. We ain't at the end yet.
Oh man, you ain't lying. I mean, that's nothing's ever going. You're not gonna do that. Nobody's gonna do what he's doing ever again. LeBron.
I mean, think about those points. True.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it there. Right. So the first thing I don't like what Paul Pierce do, and a lot of people do it, and David is saying this on the screen. He said, why do they always do the qualifier that LeBron is the most skilled we've ever seen? He's not. Yeah, they always do that because LeBron gets so much criticism. He gets scrutinized so much. I think some people, especially the athletes that are his peers, they feel like, man, I don't want to dump on this dude. Like Mike is obviously the man, but I got to give LeBron some type of credit. They just don't know what credit to give him. Right. So they end up repeating things they heard other people say, oh, he's the most skilled. But when you really think about that, when they really had a conversation of who the most skilled, LeBron name never comes up. It's always like Kobe, Kyrie, Michael Jordan, guys like that. So he's not the most skilled. Right. He's not the most skilled. I think I heard you go here later on where he's going to say that, he could do everything. I'm like, all those guys that's in the top 10 and probably even the top 15, especially if they're a wing player, can do everything. They can dribble, they can shoot, they can get to the cup, they can pass, they can defend, they can block shot. When you're a great player, you can do everything. The difference between the players like Michael Jordan and Kobe who can do everything and LeBron who also can do everything but at a lesser extent than them is that just because you can do everything doesn't mean you supposed to go out there and do everything. Like you got 4 of the guys on the floor with you. If I'm doing everything, then I'm saying I'm going to maximize everything I can do. I'm going to empty the clip on me, and then everyone else can only use a select few of their talents and skills. Like if you're Tristan Thompson, whatever it is you can do on the basketball court, you're going to get reduced to a screen setter and a lob threat on offense. On defense, that's when you're supposed to do everything that you can do because you got to kind of defend for LeBron. because he's doing so much on offense that he is allowed to rest on defense if he wants to. So most people, the 4 players playing with LeBron end up playing more defense than LeBron, more often than LeBron. But on offense, they get to just stand around and just minimize themselves. So a guy like Tristan Thompson, you're only using your ability to set screens and dive to the rim and be a live threat. You're not going to put the ball on the floor. You're not going to. We don't need you to pass the ball out of the post. You're not even going to post up. You're never going to be. If you got good footwork, so what? We never see it. You're never getting the ball in the post. You're screen setting and you're diving every single time. Tristan can't shoot, so he's not picking and popping. Screen set, dive. That's it. Screen set, dive. Right? So that's all you do. Then when you're a power forward like Kevin Love or Chris Bosh, they both got great post skills. They made their living before they joined a LeBron-led team in the post. Unfortunately for them, they had good touch and were better shooters than LeBron. So what does that mean? Hey, you ever thought about becoming a three-point shooter? Because that's all you can use. You can't use that post game no more. Forget that post game, right? So can't use the post game no more. Screen set, instead of picking and diving like Tristan, when you screen set, you're popping. Pick and pop, or just go over there on the other side of the floor, spread the floor while I run screen and roll with Tristan, and you keep the paint wide open because you're a shooter, right? So Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, those prototypes, you're a catch and shoot player. Even though you got all this other skill, Bosh can put the ball on the floor. He can take big men off the dribble. He can post up, all that. Nah, you ain't using that. Just offensive rebound for us and shoot threes and jump shots. That's what you do in the offense. Then for another small forward, you might have Kyle Korver on the floor for you. Well, all you do is stand in the quarter and be a threat from three. While I'm driving to the hole, if the double come off of you, I'm passing to you, you got to catch and shoot. And you better shoot it when I pass it to you. Because if you put that ball on the floor and do something else with it, I won't get my assist. And the offense is designed for, as soon as you get that pass, that means you're open. You better catch it and shoot it, and you better make it. Right? So that's what he does. Forget if he got any other talents. And then for whoever his number 2 is, his co-star, whether it's Wade or Anthony Davis or Kyrie, they got a little bit more freedom than those other role players. They get to do similar things that LeBron can do, but they can do it when LeBron can't do it or dominate, or when he sit down on the bench, or or they doubling him. So now Kyrie, now you got to go get it in. You got to get scraps that LeBron give you, and you got to do it so well that you can average about 23 to 25 points, which is absurd. That's a number 1 option output. Like as LeBron number 2, if you're Wade, AD, or Kyrie, it requires you to put up number 1 option numbers as far as points. Like you have to, what other superstar is asking their co-star to put up number 1 option numbers? Scottie Pippen was able to just give Michael Jordan 16 to 17 points. That's legit number 2 option numbers. You can't survive as a number 1 getting 17 points. So Scottie giving Mike 16, 17, and we get 6 championships out of that. Great. But LeBron was getting 17 from Bosh and Wade. Bosh and Love. His number 3s. His number 3s was giving him 16, 17. And then if you go down to his number 4s, whether it was J.R. Smith or somebody of that nature, he was giving you about 13, 14. He was almost getting what Pippen was giving Jordan, which is absurd.
Jordan was never asked to do what LeBron has been asked to do. The Jordan had a specific task.
And that's false. Jordan was asked to do what LeBron was asked to do. Before Phil Jackson got there and they couldn't figure out why they wasn't winning consistently enough, they said, Michael Jordan, you're the only person who can really handle this ball. We need you to run point forward or point guard, whatever the case may be. And he did it. And he averaged 30, 7-7 or 29, 7-7. Crazy. They asked him to do that. Did it turn into a championship? No. Was it the best way to play? No. And it took Phil Jackson to show up and let Michael know that this is not sustainable if you want to win. You can't play that way. So yes, he was asked to play that way, which LeBron, where do you think LeBron got it from? Right? So he was asked to play that way, but that's not the best way to play. When Phil came in and changed things up and there was a more team oriented offense, they was able to get more success out of what they was doing. Right? Jordan didn't like it at first because, man, it's a powerful drug to get all those stats. Who wants to give that up? Especially when you get to micromanage the whole offense and I get to dictate everything, pace, space. I get to dictate flow. I get to dictate who gets the ball. I get to dictate when I take my shots. The offense is revolving around me. That's a powerful drug to give up. Ask Luka, ask Caitlin Clark, ask LeBron, ask Harden, ask Westbrook, ask Jokic. It's a powerful drug for the offense to be designed for you to dictate everything and get all the assists and get all the points as well. That's a powerful drug. Mike rehabbed from it and went into something better, became, you know what I'm saying? But LeBron's never had to do that. So Shannon's lying when he said Mike's never been asked to do that. He's going to lie some more.
LeBron, they asked LeBron, said, LeBron, we need you to give us 27, we need you to give us 10, and we need you to give us 10.
The lie detector determined that was a lie. I've never seen LeBron average 27, 10, and 10. I've never seen him average a triple-double. That's a lie, right? They never asked him to do that. No one went and asked him and say, LeBron, you have to do that. What they did is once LeBron started playing that style, he didn't want to stop. And what they had to do is go find players that fit that style. LeBron didn't play that style because he was forced to, and they asked him to do it. LeBron played that style because he wanted to. And they was asking him, or they was asking the front office to find players to fit that style. And when I say fit, not just in your game, your mentality has to fit as well. Remember when he tweeted, when Kevin Love first came over there to Cleveland, he was like, man, I can't get with this. All I'm doing is catching and shooting three. I can't get with this. I can't play basketball. And LeBron James tweeted and said, either fit in or fit out. That's what he mean. If you're not going to get with this program, you got to get up out of here just like David Blatt did. I got David Blatt up out of here. Do you want to be next? Either fit in or fit out. He went publicly and said that, not the Kevin Love face. Either fit in or fit out. So you got to fit mentally. You got to be mentally prepared to not get the rock except for a catch and shoot three and let LeBron just dictate everything. You can't use none of you can only you might have 10 different skill sets on the offense. You can only use 2 of them: screen setting and shooting threes. Oh, and offensive rebound. Never posting up. Never putting the ball on the floor. Never getting the opportunity to take a man one-on-one. Right? So LeBron hasn't been forced. Nobody's been forced to play this way. Not even Luka. Nobody's been forced this way. Every time Luka gets to a different team, he just got to the Lakers. He's trying to create what he had in Dallas and LA. Find me a center that can screen set and dive and be a lob threat. They got Jackson Hayes. Then they went out and got DeAndre Ayton. He tried to get 2 centers that can do both. Screen set and dive in Dallas for the longest, and he finally got it when they got Lively and Gafford. He was so happy that he had 2 guys to do that, because now if I got one and then one goes to the bench and y'all come off the bench with Maxi Kleber, I can't run that screen that high screen and roll like I want to. It makes it harder for Luka. So he always wants one guy on the floor with him that can screen set and dive and be a lob threat, because that makes the offense work for him. So what they're doing is designing an offense that's going to work for Luka to get his 26, 6, and 6. And then let's figure the rest out. Like this offense is just for Luka. We're running the offense only for Luka. All 4 guys on the floor, you're only there to help Luka get 26, 6, and 6. All right, so now we got that established. He's going 26, 6, and 6. We can pencil that in every game. Pencil it. If he's hitting his shots, so you can pencil 26, 6, and 6 every game. Right? Boom. All 4 guys on the floor, you only exist to help him get 26 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. After that, now let's figure out how we go get the win. They're doing it backwards. They're running the offense just for one guy to get his numbers, and then Jason Kidd, you and your coaches that you got to figure out a way y'all can get a win out of this, because he's giving you 26.6 rebounds and 6 assists. You getting that every game. Now figure out the rest. And that's what Jokic, that's what Harden did in Houston. That's what Westbrook did in OKC. That's what LeBron has been doing off and on wherever he goes. So no one's forcing them to do that. They want to do that. They can play real basketball and play for pop and run a real offense. They can do that. But that's going to require them to upgrade their game to something more advanced than I'm just going to come down with the ball in my hand and get a high screen.
And we need you to do that every night. And in the meantime, we still need you to guard the best player.
All right,
That's a lie. He was not required to guard the best player. That's a bold lie.
LeBron has the greatest of all time influence on winning.
That don't make no sense.
Like from day one, you put them on this team, they're
a better team than what if he's not on it.
Well, you can say that about Jordan, but just like his influence on winning is greater than Jordan.
Okay.
Because when you look at the teams he took to the finals, it's like, damn, you dragged them? You dragged them too?
That 2018 team ain't got no business in the finals.
But then you kind of erase that because then you be like, damn, how did you lose when you had this?
All right, so Paul said something real key, and Shannon said something as well that we go point out, right? But Paul said, yeah, LeBron, once you put him on a team, he affects winning right away. But this is what people don't actually say when they say that. They don't actually say the part where when he actually go to these teams, it's just not him showing up. Right? When he left Cleveland to go, like anything after Cleveland, right? He showed up at Cleveland as a rookie that was trying to get free agents and draft people that they could fit and build around LeBron. It wasn't working. They couldn't, they got to the finals once, but they couldn't get back. So he ran from the grind in year 7 to go to Miami. Now, what his fans will say is he showed up to Miami. They wasn't a playoff team, and they immediately got to the finals, but they would not add the fact that Bosh showed up with him. Wade was already there. So Wade there by himself with no help, they didn't get it. They didn't get to the playoffs. But now you bring Bosh and LeBron. That's a big difference. But the way they'll tell the story is that LeBron showed up and all of a sudden they got to the finals. Forget who else showed up with him. And I'm just talking about the big names. There was other people that showed up in free agency as well. They didn't just sign just the big two to add to Wade. It was more people that showed up. Right? Then he leaves the Heat. He goes back to Cleveland. Same situation. Wade was already in Miami when he showed up. And Kyrie was already in Cleveland when he showed up. Same thing. They weren't a playoff team. LeBron shows up. Who shows up with him? Kevin Love. So Kyrie by himself didn't make the playoffs. But when you add Kevin Love and LeBron, and then midway through the season go get J.R. Smith, yeah, that makes a big difference. Right? So you're just going to act like it's just LeBron. So whenever LeBron does go to a team and he only shows up by himself, he doesn't impact winning right away. Because when he left the Cavs for the second time, he went to the Lakers and he tried to get Anthony Davis to join, but the New Orleans Pelicans wouldn't trade him right away. So he had to sit out and force them to trade later on. But when LeBron showed up by himself, he didn't impact winning. The Lakers didn't win the they didn't make the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs at all. Right? So he doesn't just automatically impact winning. Think about that. Right? But on the back end, Paul Pierce said, but if we're going to give him credit for showing up and impacting winning right away with little of nothing on the team, then we got to do the opposite thing when he has everything and don't win. Like if you got everything and you lose, why are you losing when you got a super team? Right? So that's what Paul said. But you missed the part about what Shannon said when he was like, oh, that 2018 team may have no business making it to the finals. And even though they lost the finals, probably got swept. I think they got swept. Even though they lost, you're going to act like there's some type of big accomplishment. Oh, that 2018 team. And then he will lie. Let me see what he say.
Does the journey matter? How you win? Does that matter?
It does to me.
It matters, right?
It does.
Like, because if you're saying Kobe became something different because he stuck it out with the Lakers and won without Shaq, that matters.
Yeah.
That's elevated Kobe.
Well,
right?
see, if they could have got him pieces, do you think Kobe win if he doesn't get Powell? If they don't get Metal?
Powell is not a top 75 player.
But I'm saying if they don't get him.
No, they don't.
LeBron couldn't get nobody to come to Cleveland. Bro, think about it. He got Timofey Mozgov, $75 million. He had Dellavedova. Dellavedova is your starting point guard
up there.
See, that's my point. That's what he was up against. Just imagine if Jerry West was his GM, he would have knew what pieces to put around LeBron.
I'm gonna stop there because first he said the 2018 Cavs had no business making it to the finals. Then he lied and said Dellavedova was his starting point guard, which was not true. George Hill was his starting point guard, a very good George Hill. He still had J.R. Smith. He still had Kevin Love. That was the first year that Kyrie left. They brought in Isaiah Thomas that year, Derrick Rose, D Wade, but they had to trade them mid-season. Not J.R. Smith, but Isaiah Thomas couldn't get on the floor because of his hip. D Rose was not a good fit, and Wade, I guess, wasn't a good fit either. He was done. But they made the trade. But he got George Hill, he had Rodney Hood, he had Kevin Love. Kevin Love still was a stud. And then when you look at the competition in the East, so for him to, first of all, let's stop lying and saying Dellavedova was his starting point guard. Dellavedova started in the finals when Kyrie went down with injury. Was that the year? Yeah, Kyrie Irving went down with an injury, and Dellavedova had to play heavy minutes. But you get through 82 games with Kyrie, Kevin Love, and LeBron and J.R. Smith. Those four players, you got four players that get you through 82 games, and then the playoffs, and then you lose Kevin Love in the second round of conference finals. I can't remember. I'm going to say conference finals. You lost Kevin Love, and then you lost Kyrie game one of the finals, and y'all lost that one, and then y'all lost that series 4-1. So that means you played 4 games without Kyrie. So you played 4 games with Dellavedova, but the way LeBron James fans tell it is that Dellavedova was his starting point guard from day one of the 2018 season or 2017 season, whatever you want to say. That's a bold-faced lie, right? So 2018 season, the Cavs. I'm gonna just take the top 4 teams in the East. The Cavs was number 4. They won 50 games. That's the year that George Hill was the starting point guard, not Dellavedova. You got LeBron, who's supposed to be the best player in the league. So tell me, if you got the best player in the league in his prime, George Hill is your point guard, J.R. Smith is your shooting guard, and you still got Kevin Love. That's your core players. And what if I told you they was number 4 in the East that year? Number 3 was the Sixers, the very young Sixers, with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, and their third best player was J.J. Redick. Do you think Joel Embiid young, Ben Simmons young, can't shoot, and J.J. Redick mid or less than mid as the best 3 players on the Sixers team, do you think they got a better shot at getting to the finals than the best player in the league, Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, and George Hill as the core? Right, that's the Sixers. They won 52 games that year. Second place was the Celtics. Jason Tatum was a rookie. He wasn't even sure he was going to start that year. That was the year that Kyrie and Gordon Hayward showed up to the Celtics. Gordon Hayward got hurt the first game of the season against the Cavs. Gordon Hayward is hurt. No Gordon Hayward. Kyrie Irving got this team jumping early. He gets season-ending surgery around the All-Star break. So you don't have Kyrie. So this team is led by a second-year player, Jaylen Brown, a rookie, Jason Tatum, and Al Horford. Those are your 3 best players. Do you think a rookie, Jason Tatum, a second-year player, Jaylen Brown, and Al Horford got a better chance than the best player in the world, LeBron James, Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, and George Hill? Right? And then the number one team in the league in the East that year with 59 wins was the Raptors, led by DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, and Serge Ibaka. Now, that team was kind of deep because they did have OG Anunoby, but he was a rookie, wasn't getting much playing time that year. But they also had Siakam, who was very young. He didn't emerge into the Siakam we know of now, but he was on their bench. They had Van Vliet on the bench. So that team it had depth. So I give it that. But the best player is DeMar DeRozan. How close to LeBron James do you think DeMar is? How close is Lowry to George Hill? How close is Serge Ibaka to Kevin Love? Right? So if you got the best player in the league and you in the East and the best player on the best team is DeMar DeRozan, the best player on the second best team, I guess it was a rookie, Jason Tatum, if you want to say that. I say Jason Tatum as a rookie, and Joel Embiid was the best player on the third best team. Who got the best shot coming out of the East? None of those guys got playoff experience except for DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry and Serge Ibaka. LeBron had that number, though. I mean, LeBron was better than everybody on that team. Right? So if LeBron is that good, why are we shocked when all these mid teams led by these young bucks not getting all the way to the finals? Like, this is, we've seen people come out of the East with mid teams before. Iverson, Allen Houston, Reggie Miller, Jason Kidd. We've seen them get out of the East with mid teams, and we're not saying none of those guys are as good as LeBron James. Nobody's saying J. Kidd, Iverson, Reggie Miller, or Allen Houston or is on the level. They're not top 10 players of all time. LeBron is a top 10 player of all time. So why are we giving him credit for just getting to the finals with K Love, George Hill, J.R. Smith? That ain't nothing to be hyped about and be bragging about.
But that's what makes the journey matter. Like, when you go through the rough times, like me and Cole, like we talked about earlier, we were like, oh, we the journey's over, but he stuck it out.
Yeah.
And that meant something for him to stay a Laker and wait for them to see if they were going to do something.
Right.
He never ran.
LeBron waited.
What year was it?
Yeah, like year 7. He just realized
what year did Jordan win?
7
or 8?
Yeah. But here's the thing. They got him Scottie Pippen. They got him Ho Grant.
They got him a rookie Scottie Pippen, a rookie Horace Grant. Shannon Sharp, quick question. What do you rank Horace Grant all time for power forwards? How good is Horace Grant? They got him competent players that play hard, that play defense, that rebound, who had some offensive ability. And they turned into much more than that. They tried to do it in Cleveland with LeBron. Let's see if we can get him those type of players. They went and got him Larry Hughes. He was averaging more than Scottie Pippen before he showed up there. Right? So there's your points. They went and got him drafted J.J. Hickson, who had all the ability that Horace Grant had, if not more. Same mid-range jump shot he was able to hit. Athleticism was great. Defender was there. I mean, J.J. Hickson is the reason why they didn't pull the trigger on the trade for Amari Stoudemire. They wanted J.J. Hickson in that trade, and I think they wanted to keep J.J. That's how impressive J.J. was when he first got there, right? He had Boozer when he first got there. He had Ricky Davis. None of them dudes fit with him. Like the style of play that he's trying to play is very hard to find guys to fit that. You got to find guys who want to spread the floor and stand at the three-point line or set screens and dive for lob layups. Like, that's a unique guy to find. Hey, I need to find a guy who can play lockdown defense, but also just stand in the corner and shoot threes. And he also got to be really good, because if he's just mid, then that means LeBron don't have enough help. So he's got to be very good, which means you got to be a very good player with a beta mentality, because What player with a lot of talent wants to stand in the corner and just watch LeBron dribble the air out of the ball all day long? That's very hard to do. So you're looking for a freaking dominant in the rough. I need a player that's really good, that can play real good defense, can score at will and shoot threes, but also willing to defer and just stand in the corner. That's a unique player you're looking for. So he talking about they got him Scottie Pippen and whole Grant. Now, what does that mean? They was getting LeBron help.
Scottie became something. They don't know Scottie. They didn't go get Scottie Pippen. They drafted well.
But what I'm saying, they weren't drafting well, though. Truth.
But they were trying to do everything to get him. They got Ben Wallace, Shaq, Antoine. They was trying.
But Ben Wallace was my age.
Yeah, I mean,
Shaq was my age.
But you think about this: the great players, people always gravitate towards you.
He said Ben Wallace was his age. As a matter of fact, when Ben Wallace and Dennis Rodman are practically the same player. Not 100% the same player, but both very good defensively. A+ defenders. Both very good rebounders. A+ rebounders. Not a lot of offense. Right? But remember, the style of play that LeBron plays, he needs guys like Kevin Love or Chris Bosh to be as good defensively as a Ben Wallace and as a great rebounder as Ben Wallace, but also be able to shoot the three like a guard. So he can't use a Rodman or a Ben Wallace. So it's not that Ben Wallace was old. It was that he went to the wrong squad. It wasn't that Shaq was old. He just went to the wrong squad. You can't be in the paint when you on a LeBron running LeBron's offense. So he's saying Ben Wallace was old and past his prime. Ben Wallace was probably the same age, if not younger, than Dennis Rodman when Dennis Rodman went to the Bulls. And I just thought about this, so I'll pull it up really quick. And this is just me guessing. Dennis Rodman. Let's see if I can pull up his basketball reference. I want to see how old Dennis Rodman was when he got to the Bulls. Right? So Dennis Rodman, when he got to the Bulls, was 34 years old. Right? So 34, 35, 36 was how old he was when he three-peated with the Bulls. 34, 35, 36. Right? Not a spring chicken, not super young. 34, 35, 36. Right? Now, let's see how old Ben Wallace was when he joined the Cavs. And I could be wrong, y'all. I don't know. 34. Let's see how old Ben Wallace was when he joined the Cavs. He was 33. I was right. A year younger than Rodman. Ben Wallace was 33 years old, a year younger than Rodman when he joined the Cavs. You see what I'm saying? So he was old. We can't count the Cavs giving him help with Ben Wallace, but we can count the Bulls giving him help with Dennis Rodman. Well, Dennis Rodman was older than Wallace, and they both are pretty much the same player. They both going Hall of Fame if they ain't already there. Both rebounding monster, both defenders. It's just LeBron can't use a player like that. LeBron can't even use Scottie Pippen. If Scottie Pippen was on LeBron's team, he would be traded for Kevin Love. It's the reason why he traded Wiggins. What I'm gonna do with Wiggins? I just had that with Wade. I ain't really liked it that much. Like, I need somebody that can shoot. Kevin Love. I need a big man that can shoot. To run that pick and pop with me. Or a big man that can shoot to pull the big man out of the paint. He knew what he needed. He knew what worked in Miami. What worked with Miami was Chris Bosh was a big, and when he played the 5 or the 4, he's pulling somebody out of the paint. Whether it's Duncan, whether it's Amari, whoever's trying to guard Bosh at the time, they're getting pulled out of the paint, right? So he knew that worked in Miami. So he knew, man, who else can do this? He said before he decided to go back to Cleveland that he wanted to play with Kevin Love. So when he made the decision to go back to Cleveland, They had already drafted Wiggins. They got Kyrie Irving. You already found you a superstar in Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying? You was going to add Wiggins to that with the number 1 pick. That would have been a good duo, but LeBron showed up and was like, dang, it could be me, a young Kyrie and a young rookie Andrew Wiggins, but then I would have to wait for that to gel. I need a vet and I need a big man that can shoot like Bosh did. Immediately, I need Kevin Love. They traded Wiggins for Kevin Love. He always have to have a big man that can shoot to pull people out of the paint because he has to get downhill in the paint to do what it is he do. Because he's very limited offensively. Stop producing all these facts. The fanboys can't take it. You're right. I know they can't.
Great players.
Yeah.
The good role players gravitate.
Yeah, but they ain't going to Cleveland to gravitate towards them.
Why not? People
Because I ain't trying to go to Cleveland.
Like
Now, if LeBron was
Milwaukee won.
Yeah.
Denver won. Who want to go there? But whose journey was better, Jordan's or LeBron's?
You think it's harder to win as many championships as Jordan did with one team, or win the championship that he's won like LeBron on multiple teams?
I think it's harder to win on one team. This is why Shannon Sharp. When you're on one team, and I use Michael Jordan as an example. You're on one team, you get a co-star, and as you age, your co-star ages. Both of y'all are getting older. Both of y'all are hitting y'all prime and then declining from your prime, right? We've seen it all happen. The Boston Celtics, Bird, Kevin McHale, Parrish, they all got old. Bird back went out and all of those things. It would have been nice for Bird to say, you know what? I can't do it the way I used to, but I guarantee you if I trade Parrish and McHale, I can get another younger superstar in here to help me and help carry me. He didn't do that. They all went down with the ship together. They all retired and dispersed or went, and ran off into the sunset with some other team. That's how you go down with the ship. Detroit Pistons, Rodman, Rick Mahorn, Bill Laimbeer, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, Microwave, Vinnie Johnson, all these guys, Mark Aguirre, they all did what they could do and got old together and went down. Nobody was jumping ships trying to figure out, man, what team can I jump on is on the way to the championship because I want to keep winning. My time is up. We go down with the ship, we retire, we ride off into the sunset. That's the respectable way to do it, right? That's the respectable way to do it. And that's harder because you're trying to continue to win after you're past your prime. That's a very hard thing to do, right? And it's hard to manufacture that thirst to want to keep doing it and keep making deep playoff runs with the same people like everybody's wore out. You get what I'm saying? Everybody's wore out. That's tough. Now, what's easier is saying, all right, instead of me staying with one team for 10 years with one co-star, one coach, and all that stuff and see how many we can win. And then we all go out together. Like Phil retired, Mike retired at the same time. Pippen left the Bulls. Like it was the last dance. They all ran off into the sunset together and left that where they was winning at. They left the mountaintop together. Right. But to say, yeah, every 4 years, I'm just go team hop. And that way, when I get to see Wade getting older, I'm saying D Wade before the games or after the games drain his knee just so he can walk. All that fluid building up in his knee. I know he ain't got nothing left in him. Why would I want to go down with the ship with him? Why would I want to stay with the Heat when I can see the writing on the wall? He's a max player, but he's not. He's a max player in contract, but he's not a max player on the court no more because of his injuries. So we're not going to be able to afford help for us to get back to the championships. This is the perfect time for me to jump ship, not go down with the ship, jump ship, right? The way sailors work, the way Navy work, the way pirates work, the way it's supposed to be, the captain always goes down with the ship. What sense does it make? You got all these people, life in your hands, and when the ship spring a flood and the ship is sinking, you're the captain and you fly off in the helicopter and tell everybody else they get the die and go down with the ship. But the captain, you're the reason why we're flooding, because if we're flooding, that means the captain did something wrong. So it was honorary for a captain to say, I'm not leaving until everybody is safely off this boat. Get all the life rafts and everything. Captain got to be the last one to leave or go down with the ship. You can't be the first one to leave. So when the ship was going down for LeBron in Cleveland, he left and went to Miami. When the ship was going down in Miami, he left and went back to Cleveland. And what he doing is, instead of his co-star like Scottie Pippen getting older, hitting his prime, and then declining after his prime, every time his co-star like Wade gets older and start declining, he gets to leave and get a younger co-star in Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. And then when Kyrie Irving don't want to play with him no more and leaves, and then Kevin Love is declining, he gets to leave and go to LA and get another young co-star in AD. And then when AD look like he's declining, he gets Luka, a younger co-star. So team hopping and having your co-star age like Benjamin Button is easier than staying with one team with one co-star and going down with the ship.
It's hard to win, period.
Yeah, oh, for sure. We
said that.
We've agreed
We
to that.
said
Yeah, we're going to agree with that.
But now, if I go say, all right, I want to go over here, but then I get the hand pick, what part of the journey is that? That has to mean something. That has to mean, like, Jordan didn't say pick Pippen. Did he?
Right.
They got him on a hinge that's saying, hey, maybe he becomes something.
Right.
You know, like, the journey has to like mean something. And, you know, it doesn't take away from LeBron's ability.
Right.
Like, he's like just take away everybody's championships.
Right.
LeBron has the greatest ability of any basketball
Right.
player ever,
No,
like
he
skill
don't.
wise.
Right.
No, he don't.
Like, I mean, dude, he's the scoring champ. He can pass like Magic. He can rebound like Rodman. I mean,
He indeed cannot rebound like Rodman. Rodman was averaging 13, 14, 15 rebounds a game as a 6'8" power forward. LeBron is a 6'8" power forward as well, and he's averaging 7 rebounds a game. So Rodman was averaging double what LeBron averaged. Larry Bird averaged more rebounds than LeBron. We've got to stop being this lazy with the things we say and the words we use, because we're trying not to offend a peer. Just be honest. He cannot rebound like Rodman. Stop it.
Yeah, he can do it
like
all.
He can do it all. Like, if I'm building a basketball player, I want to build LeBron. Like, athleticism.
Yeah, no players been able to do more.
But the mental fortitude is what we always questioned about him.
Well, just let me ask you a question.
The mental fortitude is what we always question about him. Shout out to Long Strokes with the $5 super chat. Damn, man, you got my smoke alarm ringing off with all this heavy game you cooking tonight. No doubt, man. That's the last time I'm gonna say your name tonight, too. He said, but that mental fortitude, we always question. That's the part he don't got. That might, I mean, you could say LeBron got all this stuff. He can pass, he can rebound, he can do all this. He got all the stats and all that stuff, but the winning is affected by his mental fortitude, his heart, his drive, his killer instinct, or lack thereof. But here come the question that I really wanted to get into that Shannon Sharp thought he was cooking with.
Let's just say, for the sake of argument, LeBron James would have had a historically great coach. Say he had a Dean Smith in college for 3 years, and then he get a Phil Jackson for the better part of his career. What coach that you believe that LeBron James is going to have that's going to go to the Hall of Fame? Maybe Spoelstra?
Spoelstra will go to the Hall of Fame. Ty Lue will go to the Hall of Fame. Let's see who he with right now.
JJ Redick.
JJ Redick.
Mike Brown. Vogel.
But who made who? Who made who? Did Phil make Jordan?
All I know is Phil left somewhere else and went and won a championship.
But did Phil make Jordan?
I'm just asking you a question. Did he leave? Tell me the coach that's won a championship after they left LeBron.
Probably nobody.
Why that?
Because LeBron elevated the coach. right?
Yeah.
So did Jordan.
Phil won 5 championships after he left Jordan.
I mean, come on. You inherited Kobe and Shaq.
I'm just saying what he did.
So he thought he really cooked with that Hall of Fame coach thing, right? You're not making the case that LeBron is a better player than Mike. What you're saying is Mike is a better player because he was coached. So if you think you cooking, but it's actually an indictment on LeBron when you say, oh, LeBron ain't never had no Hall of Fame coach. Well, that's the reason why his game isn't refined. But as you can see, he thought he challenged Paul Pierce and said, who LeBron uncoached, who coached LeBron is going to the Hall of Fame? He said, Ty Lue. Definitely. That's one coach. The coach that coached Michael Jordan is going to Hall of Fame is Phil. That's one. So LeBron has had one Hall of Fame coach. Well, before he said Ty Lue, he said Eric Spoelstra. That's one coach. So Eric Spoelstra, Hall of Fame, multiple championships, multiple winning season, multiple finals appearances, even without LeBron. Gold medals. He'll be coaching the next Olympic as the head coach this time. He got a resume, and so does Ty Lue. He's on his way as well. So that's actually two. David Blatt is actually one of the most winningest coaches overseas, and the Basketball Hall of Fame is just not NBA. David Blatt will be a Hall of Famer. That's 3 coaches. And then the maybes, we got to see what Mike Brown is able to do. And Jason Kidd as an assistant, even when Frank Vogel won in the bubble with the Lakers and LeBron, we know Jason Kidd was actually the catalyst behind that for real. That's why when they gave Vogel the job, they was like, yeah, we go give you the job, but you got to hire Jason Kidd, because they really wanted Jason Kidd. For whatever reason, they couldn't just give Jason Kidd the job. I don't know why. Right. So they gave it to Vogel and said, yeah, but maybe Magic wanted J Kidd, but Pelinka wanted Vogel, and they split the baby and was like, yeah, get both of them. But when it came to the defensive schemes and everything, it was Rondo and J Kidd that was mostly instrumental in that offense and defense, right? Rondo and J Kidd, Rondo as a player and J Kidd as an assistant coach, was more instrumental in the schemes they did on both sides of the floor in LA, other than Frank Vogel. Hold on. Which was evident when Jason Kidd left to take the job in Dallas, and Frank Vogel couldn't sustain winning on that team, and he got fired. Ain't that something? You lose Rondo and J Kidd, and all of a sudden you look like a totally different coach, right? That's the Frank Vogel we're talking about. So J Kidd will be he's a Hall of Fame player. He will be a Hall of Fame coach as well. So will Mike Brown. So will David Blatt. So will Ty Lue. So will Eric Spoelstra. And then Pat Riley was instrumental in that heat as well as the advisor. So let's not pretend like LeBron hasn't had the coaching. He's had more great coaches than Mike has, right? But when you talk about Dean Smith and Mike being coached in North Carolina, yeah, that makes him a better player, because he allowed himself to be coached and refined and become a better player. LeBron has been enabled. All right, big difference. Very big difference. Phone lines are open, y'all. Let's get these phone calls in. Let's take 3 of them. Let's see how good these phone calls are gonna be, man. I want to hear from y'all. Everything is on the table, man. Do you buy all the lies that Shannon Sharp was spreading? LeBron hasn't had a coach, and and all this other stuff, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Caller from Atlanta, what's good? Hello, caller from Atlanta. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. My bad. Go ahead. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you way better.
All right, good. Go ahead. What's your thoughts?
Man, look here, bro. First thing I want to bring up. So I heard in the clip, man, Shannon brought up the first team, not the first, the all NBA selections. So let me bring up this point, right? So, Mel, when you look at Michael Jordan's career, okay, so let's say that's 17 years, but you had, the broken foot, the first retirement, second retirement, the Wizards years, right? Mm-hmm. So when you just look at that 13 years in Chicago, Michael Jordan If you got if that's 13 all NBA selections, only one is second team. Everything else is first team all selection. When we sit up and talk about LeBron James being a multiple all NBA selection, you see third team on his resume. Michael Jordan doesn't have any third team on his resume. So what are we talking about, man? Like,
yeah.
And like a lot of people not understand it, because like I told, man, I'm in my 20s, so I'm talking amongst LeBron guys every day. I'm like the only guy going against that. So when you hear with longevity, oh man, LeBron James been playing at this elite level for these 20-some years, but why is he not playing 82 games?
That's a good question.
Why is LeBron James missing? He's about to miss the first month of basketball.
Sheesh, that's crazy.
Like that. And then one thing I've always said, man, LeBron James, he handpicks these guys to come play with him. Like when people talk about that 2018 team and they really try to go like, and the way they just dump on his supporting cast, like why would I want to play under that? You had Rodney Hood, who was balling in Utah. They traded him. They traded Jay Crowder for him. You had George Hill. I think he was in Indiana, and that's where they sent one of them dudes. I think George Hill was in the East, but when he came, he was a solid point guard.
Really good.
And then I talked to my friends. I said, hey man, these guys come play to LeBron, and these dudes don't remember how to play basketball. It's no man. When you play with LeBron, lights are too bright. It's too much pressure. Like, what are we talking about?
Boy, that's insane,
if you're this great player, how do you not bring out the best of your guys? And we've seen it. This dude ain't coachable. This has started with Paul Silas. Like this stuff is started with Paul Silas, and nobody could really just hold him accountable. I don't even think the legends can talk to him. You saw what happened with Charles Barkley. What was that? 2017.
Yeah.
Dan LeBron, do you just want all the help? He starts doing, but I never spit on a kid. Like, yes, man, that's bad stuff, of course, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about basketball, man.
Already, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, man, you cook, man. I appreciate the call, man. Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
Right. 100%, man.
Yes, sir.
100%, man. Thanks, man.
All right, man.
Yep.
Hey, man, y'all keep this thing going, man.
No doubt. Hit the like button, yo.
All right. Oh, y'all already did, man.
Nino, what's good, bro?
Man, you know I gotta push back a little bit. I gotta bring some clarity to this thing.
All right, let's go.
All right, now before all this dope debate talk, let me ask you something first. Would you say that LeBron is more Pippen and Magic than MJ?
I mean, a lot of people like to say that, man. I would say no. It's kind of hard to say that, man, because man, it's real hard to say. But okay, I will say this: Scottie Pippen did play point forward. Grant Hill played point forward. You know, Magic Johnson was a big 6'9" guard. So I guess from the standpoint of them all being point forwards and assisting the ball pretty good and also being able to score, yes. However, the difference between Magic and LeBron, because people want to talk about their what they both do the same. They both pass very well. But the difference is Magic Johnson was a pass first point guard. LeBron James isn't a pass first point guard. He's a score first point guard. He's never took less shots than any teammate, I think, in his career. Like, he's always been the one taking 20 plus shots a game. So he's definitely a shoot first point guard. He just also passes a lot because nobody else has the ball but him. That's the difference. Scottie Pippen came off the ball a lot. He didn't dominate the ball. The triangle offense doesn't allow it, right? But if you're going to dominate the ball, at least be pass first. Magic dominated it a little bit, but he was pass first. You get what I'm saying? So those are the differences and the similarities. But go ahead.
Well, I would agree with that. In a sense, I mean, all of, to me, the game is elevated. Not elevated, that's wrong word.
evolved.
I'm trying to say like it's been evolved, right?
Yeah.
So Phil Jackson said before this that Pippen, while now I gotta say this too, I disagree with it, but he had said Pippen was the best player on their team because he did the most things, all the stuff that we say Bron do. So I'm thinking it's a preference. What kind of team you have around you, or which player you would take out of Bron and MJ. Some people just gonna say they take MJ no matter what.
Of course, he's the better. He's the better player. It's gonna be. It don't matter. It don't matter what team I got. It's gonna be MJ.
I disagree, but
okay, why?
Because if you need, Bron could do some of the MJ stuff, but he also knows how to run the offensive plays without the system.
Right, but here's the thing, Nino. In order for you to have a team that is better suited for LeBron and MJ, then that means you have to have a coach that don't have a system, and you have to have players that are not good enough to be able to play in the system, right? So for what you're saying is for LeBron to be needed more than Mike, I have to purposely have a sorry team.
No, it don't gotta be sorry, but it gotta be certain players, and every coach don't have a system. Now,
every coach does have a system.
Oh, I disagree. Wholeheartedly.
Okay.
Well,
every good coach has a system. But what you're saying is, for me to want LeBron more than Mike, I had to have one of those coaches that are not good, and I had to have those players that need him to get their shot off. So you mean that what you're saying is I want to build my team around Kyle Korvers, Boobie Gibsons, Big Z's.
No.
That's what you're saying, because obviously he clashed with Wade. Wade had to play a whole. Everybody's changing their game. Bosh had to change. Bosh had to turn himself into Big Z to fit with LeBron. Kevin Love had to turn himself to Big Z. Wade had to. I mean, he just had to wait his turn. Kyrie had to turn himself to he had to wait his turn as well. AD had to turn himself to Big Z. Like you're not getting a lot of opportunity. Dwight Howard had to turn himself to Tristan Thompson to play with him. Shaq didn't.
No, you get opportunities.
Shaq didn't know what he was playing with LeBron. Ben Wallace's career was over. Westbrook ain't recovered since. Like he wouldn't even sign a Lakers jersey for a kid because he got PTSD. But he got PTSD from playing with LeBron. Like this, Carmelo Anthony got kicked out the league after he played with LeBron. Like, come on, dog. Where is Avery Bradley? We ain't seen him. Where's Avery Bradley? Rondo retired after playing with LeBron. Like, I mean, dang, we ain't seen Kyle Kuzma look good since he left LeBron. Like, this is insane.
Brandon Rondo won the ring.
Oh shoot, my bad. Nino, phone hung up. All right, let's get another phone call in. That'll be the last one. My bad, Nino. Was that me or you, Nino?
It's all drop. All I'm saying is, Neil.
Yeah, go ahead.
MJ specific tags. Now, see what you gonna take me says is I hate when people say MJ couldn't pass and he couldn't do the stuff. I'm not saying that because I know MJ played point guard one time, but the mindset of the MJ and Kobe was, which Kobe learned how to play more unselfish the older he got. Like just as far as when you're trusting your team, and not play unselfish, because he will pass you the ball. But he don't really like to give them, he don't really like to give it up for the most part. So for him to start trusting,
hold on, Nino. Michael Jordan and Kobe averaged 6 assists a game, dog.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm saying in them situations. I'm not saying they wouldn't throw it. That's what I'm saying. They gonna pass it.
Yeah, they
I'm
pass it.
saying-
LeBron only averaged one more assist than them.
No, I'm talking about in them big situations. I'm talking about in certain situations. But mainly with Kobe, I'm talking about when he trusts Artez for that big shot. That was a more mature Kobe. Because we know young Bean ain't passing that.
Yeah, but I mean, don't nobody care about that. I don't want my star guard that's a scorer to be worried about how. I mean, look, come on, man. That's not what it's all about. We got 5 men on the court. If I got a point guard to run my offense, I don't need Kobe to do point guard duties unless he has to.
No, that's not
Right?
a point guard, is it, man?
Right, that's what I'm
He
saying.
ball.
But yeah, but this is what I'm saying. It's okay for you to have the ability to pass very well. I don't need you to star in that role.
No, I mean the trust.
I need you to star in. You're right. But listen, he passed the ball way more times than before Artest. You know what I mean? It's a good story that he just started trusting his team and he passed the ball a lot. I mean,
I'm talking about in the clutch situations. Come on now.
Come on. Okay. So how did Shaq get that alley-oop against Portland in the clutch situation in the playoffs? Who made that pass?
They did it. But
Okay.
back-to-back,
Come on, Kobe.
it was more mature. Kobe was more mature.
Well, hold on. We can pull up stats where Kobe led the league in assists in the playoffs when he was with the Lakers playing with Shaq. This was way before Powell and Artest got there. With Shaq, who was the assist guy for the Lakers? It was Kobe. He's always passed the ball.
That's what you missing the point. I'm saying. I said that. I'm saying when they made it his team, right? When he had a little stretch where I don't know if he trying to prove to us what, which we all agree he proved it, whatever he was trying to prove. But his game matured and the game came easy to him. That's the best version of Kobe to me.
I can dig it. But
what else say about?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You know, go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
And I'm saying now, is we comparing the absolute prime like that mumble right there? Bron had to develop that, which I'm giving the point that they making. I agree. So when they saying, remember when Bron won the MVP in 7, and I like Bron. To me, he wasn't better than Kobe and Mike then. Some people might say he will. What I'm saying is we got to go to 2013 after he went to the Olympics with Kobe, and Kobe said he had talked to him and just told him mindset what to do.
Correct.
From that point to the first Lakers series, he's the best Bron. So I'm saying, do you think that player was a flawed player? Now, up to then, I give you that.
LeBron is still a flawed player.
How? Oh, right now, yeah, he old now. I think
at his best, he was a flawed player. More
2013 Miami.
More flawed than Kobe and Mike by far. I mean, you
break that down to me.
I break it down with just one example. In the fourth quarter, he's still afraid to get fouled and go to the free throw line and knock down clutch shots. To this day. Every 2 years, he airballs a free throw.
He airballs free throw. I can't.
He airball free throws a lot. He can't shoot them. He's about 60. He about 69%. Boy, that's big man style.
I ain't saying you know better people do Kobe, but now
that's a flaw. That's a flaw.
Got moments against the Spurs.
That's a flaw.
When they beat the Spurs in game 6 and 7, Bron hit a lot of clutch bases now, but he will airball free throw. I give you that.
Yeah.
All right, my last point I want to take. I had this in the style of play. People keep forgetting. Just like you can. I don't know who came up with this defense when they took the illegal defense out. Now you got to test it. I watched these games back in the 90s. I went back and looked at them. The big man, everybody had to basically would be within a certain feet of their men. And you said a while ago that Bron had to have a big man that can shoot the mid-range and all that. Well, I don't know who told Phil Jackson this about the triangle. Them guys on the Bulls could shoot. Some dude named Cartwright, he stepped out to that mid-range, he was money. man, it was more. It was like 3 bigs. I'm like, man, these guys actually was skilled.
Mhm.
So the Bulls was way ahead of their time. We don't take away. I'm not taking away from MJ though. If you want to go top 5, but I'm saying it'd be a lot of things that the people I be seeing in the chat, they be acting like the stuff wasn't going on in the 90s. Phil Jackson was way ahead of them 90s coaches. Go watch the Utah series. Utah would have 2 players on the other side standing right beside each other. Because of illegal defense, the defense had to stand over there trying to throw the ball in Karl Malone on the other side and play 1-on-1. Phil Jackson wasn't the only, I ain't gonna say he was the only coach because I'm probably lying. I don't know. But the ball movement, y'all act like every coach was doing it. They're triangle offense. Still don't quite understand triangle offense. But I know
it's some
every team wasn't moving like
it's
that.
some triangle implemented in all offense. Before I let you go though, you just compared Chris Bosh and Kevin Love stretching the floor to the 3-point line. Do you and you compared it to Bill Winnington, Luke Longley, and Cartwright being on the block and being able to take one step from the block and hit a mid range, and you think it's easier to rotate as a center from where Bill Cartwright standing in the mid range in the triangle. Mind you, in the triangle, you can't just stand in the mid range, just standing there. You're going to be on the block, creating that triangle. Someone's going to be in the corner, someone's going to be at the arc. The triangle is right there. The spacing, you have to be on that block. Now, if someone happens to drive and your man rotates and help, you can take a step back and catch that pass and hit the mid range, right? However, your man is standing right there beside you on the block and can rotate and protect the rim. The difference between that and Kevin Love and Bosh standing all the way on the opposite side of the ball at the 3-point line is how is a 7-footer going to rotate from the 3-point arc all the way to the rim when I'm driving from the opposite side?
All right, I'm gonna answer you with this. I just say there's one part of when they throw them guys the ball. MJ, where was MJ's sweet spot in the triangle offense when
Everywhere.
they wanted the bucket?
Everywhere.
No, come
Everywhere.
on now. I watched a
Everywhere.
lot of the game now.
Everywhere.
MJ's sweet spot was on them blocks. When MJ was on the block, some type of way, Dennis Rodman was on the other side, standing by the 3-point line where his man was at.
Was anybody scared to leave Rodman?
Of it.
Was anybody scared to leave Rodman from at the 3-point line?
But you couldn't just camp in the paint like
Come
you
on,
can now.
dog.
You had
Come
to
on,
be
dog.
close to Robin.
Come on,
Go
dog.
look at it. I wouldn't make it up.
Nino, I gotta let you go. I'm gonna take this last phone call, dog. Thanks for the call.
All right, man.
All right, yep.
You know, I got.
All right, caller from Texas. You gotta cut YouTube off in the background. What's up? Who on the phone?
You know who this is.
What's up?
Town.
What's up, Jeff? Man, what's good? What's good?
Man,
What's good?
hey, Nino, brother. Hey, he was arguing with himself over and over again. And you were like, I'm serious. I was watching. I was like, man, Mel, you got the paces of Job on this one. He was going all over the place. He's spreading the mayonnaise all over the place, not getting to any point and not making it. The bottom line is the flop did not have. He's like you said, he's still flawed. He has never not been flawed ever. He doesn't really have a post game. If you put him on the block, that's a joke. Like if you made him stay on the block, you know what I'm saying? If he and for me, the biggest problem is his heart, because he ran away from going to college and having to go to a coach like a Boeheim or Williams or whoever and have him get taught like a Thompson at Georgetown, where the big men got taught. You get to learn your position. That's the problem. He's been positionless this whole time. He's been do whatever I want to do, and I'm gonna take the easy route to get there. So like you said, the captain is supposed to be the one staying there when things are going bad. That's why you got paid the big bucks. That's why you're in that position. You're supposed to be the one making. You're supposed to see what the issues are, and you're supposed to plug those holes. When Magic was a rookie and Kareem went down, what did he do? Next man up.
Yep.
Took over. Did what needed to be done. Didn't flinch. Didn't run away from it. All this dude has done his whole career is run away. If you really, if you no, sit straight up. If you really look at it, all he's done is run away. And then they get, and then again, you got this conversation with Nino and then Shannon Sharp talking about, these bronzexuals. If you look at this dude is supposed to be making his teammates better, yet still he talks about, if you actually look at the data, all his teammates somehow become average to garbage.
Mm.
All of them. They step back. They have to step down and tone down their game. Why? Because they don't run an offense that they can understand consistently what the deal is and get off on do their thing, reach in their bag, do what they need to do from whatever that standpoint is. So that's the thing. Professionals can do that. They've been playing. Or at least they used to be able to do that. You could play whatever system somebody wanted to implement. Now, yeah, sometimes you didn't like the system or whatever, but you could at least play it because 5 guys on the court had an understanding of who was supposed to be where.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
This is a LeBron ball. That's all this has been since he came in, and they did not make him learn the game. That's why they didn't want him in the Olympics in was it 08. And they had to basically beg. He had to beg to get put on that team because USA Basketball didn't want him.
Mm.
Check the stats. They didn't want him.
Yeah, I heard.
They were like, no,
something like that.
he's just disruptive. He doesn't know how to play with people. He won't listen. Blah blah whatever. So I mean, people can keep on making these excuses for him. That's like you said. When Paul Pierce just come out said it with his chest. He is not anywhere close to Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, they just
or Magic Johnson.
They just don't want to be too harsh on him, man. And you can see
it's like okay, you and I were both NCOs, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we had to grade, say a PT test or whatever the deal was, did we get to go around and say, oh well, maybe that was a push up?
No, no,
maybe that was a sit up. You know what? Let's give him 10 seconds. He was having a tough day. Let's give him 10 seconds on that run.
Nah.
Were we able to do that?
No.
But for some reason, these people give this millionaire all these freaking excuses on why he somehow is supposed to be in a conversation because you don't want to hurt his feelings or whatever. I give a damn. I can't. I mean, I don't like the guy, but you already know. I'm on record. I do not like him. At all. And for me, he's the main reason why it sucks, why NBA basketball sucks.
Yeah.
And WNBA. Look at what do we say about WNBA? They play hard. I mean, yeah, it's not the same athleticism, but let's not pretend they're playing basketball. They're moving.
No, they're hooping. Hustling. They hooping for sure.
Right? They're hooping. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna give you more credit if you're gonna do that. But to sit up here and pretend, like you said, 10 rebounds and 10. Man, you ain't Oscar Robinson out there. What are you talking about?
He straight up lied, didn't he? He straight up said this dude. They asked LeBron to average 2017 and 10, and he took a team to the finals that had Dellavedova as a starting point guard.
Man, listen. See, again, I was alive when this happened, so I know this shit is a lie. Because I'm like, look, no. First off, the East was trash. And he was the reason the East was trash. Like I said, what he did with him and Bosh and Wade would have been the equivalent of Michael Jordan, Olajuwon, and Barkley on the same team in their 7th year. That would have been the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? Except even in that respect, only 2 of them were in the East and the other one was in the West. In this case, they were all in the East. So he weakened the Cavaliers and the Toronto Raptors.
Facts.
All at the same time. So you just took out 2 teams off the top. That you just made them garbage.
And everybody and the other teams was led by young players. Very young players that wasn't on their level.
So don't give me this, oh well it was a hard. No, it was not. It was the yellow brick road is what it was. That was laid out. Like, dude, you literally went like, I mean, seriously, that's like, I looked at it like a high school team showing up at middle school talking about y'all want to run some ball. Y'all want to run some ball. That's what the East looked like.
Yeah, facts.
So they
facts.
didn't go through all that. They didn't go. So when you look at jokers like Dirk, like even the fact that he got beat by Dirk and Mavericks in 11 was bad enough. But if you look at what they went through to get to that game,
right?
When you look at what they had to go through in the West, man, child, please, y'all need to seriously stop. This is embarrassing. Like if they one of these days, these people gonna wake up. They're gonna wake up and be like, man,
I hope they wake up soon, man. Because if they wake up soon, we might have some hope for MAGA. But I appreciate the call, man. I gotta get to these other topics, man. I'm trying to close this one out, man. Keep it locked though, because you might want to call in on these next topics too.
Oh, if it's gonna be that punk ass Stephen A, yeah, that's the one I really wanted to talk about.
All right, bet. We'll get you back.
You do it, brother. You do it.
All right. Yep.
All right then.
All right, this is the last call. Caller from Illinois, man. Be quick. You got about 45 seconds. Go ahead.
What's going on, my boy? Finally got to you.
What's popping?
I'm gonna try to make it fast as possible, man.
You ain't got to rush. You ain't got to rush. You ain't got to rush. Go ahead.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Thank you. All right, man. I watched every Michael Jordan game. I was young when they first started, so I already know that LeBron is having problems because there's too many of us Chicago fans that actually watch Jordan persevere. That is something that LeBron is missing from his legacy. We never really seen him persevere through anything. Jordan kind of raised the standard a little bit too high for him once he got in. So most of us in Chicago, once we saw LeBron leave Cleveland and go to Miami, we was kind of done with it because we already knew at that point he really didn't have what it took. He had to team up with other guys, so it was going to be a totally different story. On the other half, with Kobe, I got to be real. I was scared a lot of years about Kobe because it's almost like he had the same pedigree. You know what I mean? It's like he was a killer. He wasn't ever scared. Other players were scared of him. It was never like that with LeBron. Another thing that I really don't like is the longevity talk when Jordan played like 9 seasons playing 82 games. Me, my great-grandma, and my grandma sat at the table every game and watched Michael Jordan. It was never even a thought, was he going to miss a game? To see that LeBron is getting away with all this load management his whole career and still be able to compare himself when he only played 82 games one season, it's a slap in the face to the NBA fans, bro. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
He almost made me stop watching basketball. I can't lie. In the D Rose era, when we watched with our own eyes the coach step on the court and call timeout. When we looked at the referee, looked dead at his face, and didn't call a technical foul. I was damn near through watching basketball, man.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just too entertaining. But it's a lot of times I be wanting to call in. I be having a lot to say. But watching Jordan go through the Cavs, even when we used to play Charlotte and we used to play against Glenn Rice and those guys.
Yeah.
I never really hear people talk about how hard we played against the Miami Heat when they had Zoe and Tim Hardaway, the Indiana Pacers. He never just had that many teams, and they had to help him against the Bulls. It was so many phantom calls when D Rose was playing against LeBron, but we can't never use that. Fine. But we have seen and we already know that he has been shown favoritism. And then we also watched the Pistons beat the shit out the Bulls until we was able to get Stacey King, Scott Williams, Cliff Letterson. Those were the guys who really helped us against the Pistons. I know we always like to say, Mike and Scotty, which was the truth. But when it came down to the guts of that team, it was always Cartwright, Stacey King, Cliff Leverson. All those guys helped us against the Knicks, who was brawlers, the Sonics, where Xavier McDaniel used to play over there, the Pistons. Everybody was trying to beat up on the Bulls. We finally got some young guys that came in that wasn't scared. And that's what really helped us, along with Pittman doing everything else and Jordan just scoring. But the guts of the team was really the bench players. And that's why Jordan always, you always seen Jordan never got down on none of them guys. He never came out like, well, what you want me to do? Cliff Leverson can't shoot. Well, what you want me to do? So-and-so can't do that. We never seen Jordan throwing none of those players under the bus because at that time, the NBA was all about the players playing their position. It's like we got to take a sacrifice in our what's the word I'm looking for? It's like we have to take a sacrifice in our standards to even act like LeBron is the king.
That's
we gotta excuse him for running. We gotta excuse him for not. His game is just like compared to Jordan. It's like, oh my God, it's like it's like a Ferrari compared to a goddamn Nova or something. Man.
Yeah, that's a fact.
LeBron,
He more comparable to. I don't want to say Dominique Wilkins because Dominique actually was a better scorer than LeBron.
Yes,
because he had better touch and can shoot it a little bit better. So I don't even want to say Dominique, but it's very similar.
Yeah,
to
because Dominique used to go back to back with Jordan. They used to go back to back with buckets.
Yeah,
LeBron cannot do that.
I think if LeBron didn't team hop and do the super teams, I think LeBron ends up with probably one ring.
Yes.
I think he would be able to grind it out one time and get it like Giannis did, like Jokic did, like that those one ring stars like Dirk did. I think he would have got one, and I think the GOAT debate would have been over way earlier in everybody's mind, and we would have been comparing him to those one ring superstars, and maybe like a Dominique Wilkins as well, or Charles Barkley. He'll be in that range. That's where he really belonged. But people are confused because he was able to go get 4 rings and all of these records. And they're like, oh, I'm confused. I don't know how to decipher that. Like, he's really Barkley or KG level, but he got the rings. So, like, he automatically got to be in the Kobe, Tim Duncan level, which he's not. But
that's because the best thing that LeBron mimicked was Jordan marketing schemes. That's why
you would say that
everything on the marketing side to look like he was the best player. Like, we've been watching this. I know I've been watching every game since Jordan came in. LeBron copied Michael Jordan's marketing schemes, and that's how he was able to be put in the same eyes. Kobe really didn't care about that. Kobe had little stuff coming, his shoes, and this and that, but you didn't see Kobe running like, oh, let me go make a movie like Michael Jordan. Oh, let me go do this like Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Kobe actually turned. Yeah, Kobe actually turned. And I'm gonna say this, and then I'll let you go. But Kobe actually turned down the Spike Lee He Got Game movie. That was supposed to be him and not Ray Allen, but he turned it down. But yeah, appreciate the phone call, man. Say the number, man. Make sure you call back more often, man. It was a good conversation.
Most definitely.
All right, big dog. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to this Stephen A. Smith topic, y'all, and y'all got to stick around for this one because after this, when we get to this Kevin Durant topic, man, that starting 5 document or that starting 5, I guess you can call it a documentary that's on Netflix, season 2. The soundbite that came out about Kevin Durant saying that LeBron and Wade kind of push Harden out of OKC. Yeah, you go want to hear that, and then you want to hear what Perkins said about it as well because he co-signed it. But we'll get to that after this Stephen A. Smith. So Stephen A. Smith, I wasn't going to cover this one, right? I honestly didn't want to because I'm like, man, this is a sports channel, and this is similar. I mean, this is like tiptoeing the lines of politics. And I don't want to get into it, man, but it's involving Stephen A. Smith, man. And I just I see what he's doing, right? So if you've ever heard me talk about Stephen A. Smith whenever he has been going on his rants about Kwame Brown, going on his rants about Kyrie Irving, he even tried Kawhi Leonard, right? So what Stephen A. Smith does is okay, this thing is a layered thing. So let me unpack it a little bit. On one hand, Stephen A. Smith is like a hired gun for his bosses. He always talk about his bosses, my bosses, the bosses, right? He's always talking about the bosses. How can I make my bosses some money and how can I figure out a way to get some of it? Like that's his. Every day I wake up in the morning thinking about how I can make my bosses more money and how I can get a piece of it. That's what he said. He said that multiple times, and he think that sounds legit. Right, that's his thought process, right? So the bosses is big for him. He's a hired gun for them. They're not giving him all that contract money just to entertain and boost ratings for ESPN, right? You should get paid a lot less just for entertainment. You have to do a little something else for us. So on one hand, He boosts ratings and he's entertaining for ESPN. On the other hand, he's a hired gun to say things that needs to be said about players to get them, I guess, back in line, right? So when Kyrie Irving was out of line, Stephen A. Smith was the catalyst of attacking his brother and getting other people to come and join and pile on and attack him. Like Stephen A. Smith was very instrumental in that. So I think he says things that his bosses or the billionaires want to say but can't say because, you know, they're just not in the position to say it. And quite frankly, it's going to sound racist coming from a white man, right? So Stephen A. Smith says these things. He knows that he's a hired mouth. He knows this. So he's very good at it. You know, man, hey, man, Kyrie don't want to take that jab, and we don't need more people thinking like him. He's a leader, and people might follow him. We don't need people thinking like him. Man, Stephen A. Smith, I got you, boss. He got out there and did his job, right? You know, so that's what he's on. Well, anyway, he's trying to get into politics. You know, he's been teasing that he might in the future run for presidency. I don't know if he got any other aspiration as far as politics. I don't know if he's gonna try to get into politics some other way, you know, before he try to run for president. I don't know if he's going to take the Arnold Schwarzenegger route and try to be a governor, right? A mayor or something like that. I don't know what his route to presidency is. I hope it's not unpopular. I'm just going to run, but I mean, that's what Trump did. So maybe there's a pathway for that. But he's trying to get into politics, and he's always tried to venture into other things. Where, I mean, you're so good at being a hired mouth in the sports realm. I wonder if it works in other areas. So politics is where he's going to try it, and he's been on all types of Fox News panels and CSNBC panels and stuff like that, just talking. And it's not intelligent politics that he's talking. He's not. I mean, he's got the gift of gab. He can make it sound like he know what he's talking about, but he really don't. And he just goes into his theatrics, and he goes into talking, and what he does best is he finds a target, he finds a person, and he just talks down or diminishes them. And he does it really good. Oh, I mean, I can't talk politics. I can't talk or the bills that you wrote or what laws you wrote or what you wrote that it turned into a law. I can't talk that. But I can sit here and talk trash and talk junk to you or talk junk about you. And which is what he did to Jasmine Crockett, who represents Texas, right? She's a representative for Texas, and Stephen A. Smith went in on her. And that was crazy. I'm gonna play for you what he said.
How Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself, I'm like, is that gonna help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just gonna go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work. Work is saying that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in a position to stop him since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituency. Because like Joe Manchin said, he's there to represent, or was there for 15 years to represent, the people of West Virginia.
Yeah.
So that's how he talked about the Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. And what he didn't know because he said this on a Thursday or Friday, and over the weekend he just got drugged in the media by people that was speaking up for Jasmine Crockett. And basically what he's saying is, oh, you ain't doing up but going on TV talking bad about Trump. That's not work. You're not working. He literally said, you're not working. That's not work. That's not work. Why don't you try to figure out how you can work with Trump? Listen, in her opinion, and a lot of people that are on her side of opinion, they feel like what they're fighting against with what this regime is doing is worthy of speaking out against. Right. So if that's the most detrimental thing to the country right now, you have to speak out against it. I'm not trying to figure out what I can get for my state, because if we don't act fast and how they believe, if they don't act fast, it ain't gonna be no democracy or no constitution left to do anything with. So I can't figure out how much I can get. I can't wake up in the morning and figure out how I can get my boss's money and how I can get a piece of it. That's not my thought process. I got a whole country to worry about, not just Texas. Like, this country is in a tough space right now, right? So here's where it comes back to sports, right? So what Stephen A. Smith is trying to do is he's trying to take his way and style of talking about players. I'm not going to talk X's and O's with basketball, but I can tell you need to stay off the weed. I can tell you that you're trash. I can tell you that Kwame Brown. I could do all of that and do the theatrics and say, oh, man, Kwame Brown's got traded. Who cares who we got? Kwame Brown is gone. You can do all of that. You could say Kyrie Irving should retire today. Kawhi Leonard is the worst superstar the NBA has ever seen. He does nothing for his organization. Like, come on, this is trash way of talking about the sport. And he's trying to take that style to politics. Here's the funny thing. Here how it comes back to sports. Before he went to politics, he was trying to figure out other avenues or other circles he could get in, because I guess he feel like he's outgrowing where he's at with ESPN. Like, he's been doing this for years. I want to do something fresh and new. Can I take this style somewhere else? Do y'all remember when he tried to call a couple of boxing matches and a couple of MMA matches? Right? Let me dress it up for you. Conor McGregor is fighting a guy named Cowboy. Two great fighters. Conor McGregor whooped his tail, broke his orbital bone, broke his nose, had some facial damage. I mean, he was pretty jacked up. And I think he ended up submitting or something like that, right? Well, Stephen A. Smith, not knowing nothing about MMA, ESPN thought it was a good idea for ratings if we put the loudmouth, bass mouth, receding hairline Stephen A. Smith side by side with Joe Rogan, who knows what MMA and fighting is all about, to call the match. And Joe Rogan was in awe most of the time, just at the stupid stuff Stephen A. Smith was saying. And after the match, I think that there was like, Joe Rogan was talking about what he think happened. The other guy said what he think happened. And then Stephen A. Smith turned, instead of him speaking technical to what happened in the match, he comes out and say, flat out, Cowboy quit. I mean, it was pathetic. He quit. And Joe Rogan was like, what the hell? But before he even said he quit, they asked him, what did we learn about Conor McGregor, who won the match? What did we learn? Oh, we learned absolutely nothing about him. The fight was too short. We didn't learn anything. And Joe Rogan was like, I disagree. What are you talking about? Are you serious? We learned a lot. And he started naming all the stuff. Like, we learned that he can take a long 2-year layoff and come back and do that. He just named all the stuff he learned. And Joe Rogan was just like, man, who man is this? He think he can go and talk about those fighters the way he talk about Kyrie, Kawhi, and Kwame Brown. Right? So listen to how Joe Rogan responded to that on his podcast.
I was upset at Stephen A. Smith, and then he made a video responding to me.
Come on.
Listen, Stephen A. Smith, I guess I should respond, right? You're a very entertaining guy. I like you a lot. And I appreciate the props you gave me in that video, but you're wrong.
Yeah.
Cowboy got fucked up with those shoulders in the clinch. Like, I could see if someone has a peripheral understanding of the sport and you see that happening, like, come on, man. Or even guys like Mike Bisping. Like, Mike Bisping was like, fucking shoulder strikes. Come on, shoulder strikes. But that said, Mike Bisping is without a doubt one of the toughest human beings that's ever walked the face of the planet. But Stephen A. Smith said that he felt like Cowboy quit. He did not quit. He got smashed. He got
can't
smashed.
say someone quit after getting their nose broke and rocked and a broken orbital. You can't say he quit.
It's also who you're talking about. You're talking about a guy who has the most fights in the UFC, the most finishes in the UFC, the most head kick knockouts in the UFC, the most bonuses in the UFC. Cowboy is a fucking legend. He is as tough as they come. He's lost before. Every human can lose, especially you're fighting guys like Darren Till and Jorge Masvidal and these fucking animals that he's fighting. He's fighting the cream of the crop, or Conor. And Conor literally broke his face. He broke his nose and he broke his orbital bone. So Stephen A. Smith responded, and then Conor responded. And
I seen that.
Conor told him to apologize.
Yeah.
And Conor's right.
Yeah, he is right.
I think the problem is Stephen A. Smith, who's a very entertaining guy and is very knowledgeable about other sports. This is not his wheelhouse. And also that style of dismissing athletes and putting people down. Like
that's how he kind of made his name.
That's how he made his name. And it's fun to listen to. He's a fun guy to listen to.
Yeah.
He talks great shit. I just think that this sport demands more appreciation, more respect, and it demands a higher level of reverence to the athletes who literally put their lives on the line. It's different.
So that's how they that's how they undress Stephen A. Smith. So basically what ended up happening is they talked so bad about Stephen A. Smith. They called him out so early and often and so detailed on why it's bad for the sport to have someone like him in it that don't know nothing about it. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, think about that. Like, he don't know nothing about MMA, but they thought ESPN thought it was going to be a good idea to throw him out there and think that since he got the gift of gab and he can just talk trash and kind of weave his way through conversation, that whatever he don't know, he can just cover up with loud talking and screaming and antics and theatrics. MMA ain't the place for that. It's not the place for that. And Joe Rogan explained that quite clear, right? So ultimately what ended up happening is they ran Stephen A. Smith out of there because he really, like, he expressed that he wanted to get into calling MMA, and he wanted to get into that. And they ran him out, was like, no, you can't. You cannot. So they ran him out of their circle. MMA is for us. Give us somebody else that knows the sport. We could do without the entertainment. Take that junk somewhere else. Go do that on ESPN with basketball and football. Don't come over here with that nonsense with that airline hotline. Don't do it. We don't want to see you. And he never came back. I think that what needs to happen in the political circle is they need to do the same exact thing. The reason why I don't think they're going to do it is because I think he appears to be useful to a certain side of the house, right? A certain side seemed like he might be useful. We can use his mouthpiece. We can use his mouthpiece to do to other black candidates what he did to Kwame Brown and Kyrie Irving. So I think instead of them running him out of the circle for not knowing shit what he talking about, because I mean, honestly, it's a lot of people in politics that just starting to sound very dumb. So I mean, he might fit right in. I think that he's going to be sticking around for a little while, just doing what he do. So just look forward to however he talked about Kwame and Kyrie and Kawhi Leonard and whoever, and Kevin Durant and whoever he talked about. Just look forward to seeing him do it in the political circle, right? I'm gonna play one more sound bite because they didn't stop there. This was initially after that fight. They did a podcast. They talked about it, but after Stephen A. Smith posted that boxing session that he was training, I guess he was training the exercise, and he was hitting that the body bag, looking horrible, like that was his first time ever swinging. They had a good laugh at that, and they went in on him again.
So I looked at your Instagram yesterday, and you had that video of Stephen A. Smith, and immediately I was like, "Oh my goodness, this explains so much." Play this, play this, Jamie. Watch this. First of all, someone needs to explain to me what's happening here.
It looks like a dick punch to the left.
I don't even think it's a dick, unless that guy's got a 2-foot dick. Look how low he's punching.
No idea, man.
This guy should not be allowed to talk about fighting.
This I can understand with Stephen A, but this is not what you want to release. After you just called someone who's a pioneer in the sport, you basically call him a quitter.
You call the guy a quitter. First of all, he had a broken orbital bone. Okay. You saying he was a quitter? He got his face smashed.
Yeah.
Okay. He got cracked by one of the biggest punchers in the sport.
Yeah.
He has the most wins in the sport. He has the most wins by finish. He has the most bonuses. I mean, come on. He has the most fights. Come on. You're calling that guy a quitter? He got cracked. That's what happens. There's the emotional cost of losing a fight is so much different than losing a game. It's not the same. And there's a culture in sports broadcasting, whether it's radio or television, this just diminishing of people. There's this shit talking that goes with sports. You know, he always falls apart. That guy, that motherfucker needs to give his money back. He sucks. He this and that. And the other guy's like, oh, I can't believe you're saying that. And you could do that in sports radio and people love it. Because if you're on the job site and you're listening to the radio and you're fucking hammering nails, you're like, you're right, he does suck. And there's a mentality that goes along with that kind of sports radio, sports guy talk. I hate that shit. I've resisted that from the beginning, and I've shit on those guys from the beginning because it's not the same thing. You're not talking about the same thing. You're talking about fighting. You're talking about unbelievable physical consequences, including, knock on wood, in our sport, it's very rare, but death.
Yeah, no, it's true. But the other thing though too is that you're criticizing someone for being a quitter and someone who's been there on every level of the game.
Every level.
But not only that, but then you look like you've never played basketball or baseball or any other sport in your life either. Hit admits like that. I'm sorry, so you cannot criticize people. And to be on the talk show, like you're saying, those talk show radios, that's the energy you need to bring when you're going against someone like Max Kellerman or any of the other, or Skip Bayless and those guys. Go ahead and have that conversation with them. But you can't look like that.
They clowning you.
I'm sorry, man.
That culture, the culture of the sport. Look, Max Kellerman is a different animal. Max Kellerman is incredibly knowledgeable when it comes to sports and really so when it comes to boxing. He's not a shit talker. He's just more honest about it.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's a lot of currency in being a Stephen A. Smith. On air, we had a little weirdness because he was just saying, we didn't learn anything about Connor. I'm like, the fuck you didn't?
Yeah.
He just destroyed Cowboy in 40 seconds. Like, you learned something. You learned he could perform under the bright lights in a giant pay-per-view after more than a year and a half out of the game. Yeah, you learned something. You just don't know what you saw.
I want to ask you this, though, because it was funny because I could see your face in the middle of it all. How awkward is that for you to stand between the two of them and go, what are you guys fucking talking about?
Yeah,
like, I mean,
I would have preferred to talk to DC or Felder or you or anybody who understands the sport. I don't think it's the right way to do it. I have no problem with him as a human being.
No.
I just think, look, I don't know jack shit about baseball. I don't know jack shit about basketball. I literally don't even know the rules. I don't know when people foul people. I'm not sure why. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I know MMA. I understand it. So if you want to talk about MMA, I'd like to talk to MMA about someone else who knows MMA.
When I was listening to him talk and calling Cerrone basically a quitter, to me, I lost respect in the avenue that you're not supposed to be working in our sport.
Yes.
Okay. And you need to make some sort of adjustment, whether it's dick punching or something else. Like, you need to figure it out. You need to, like, I understand. I get that it's a good idea for all people that have never covered the sport to try to get into it. Okay. Maybe hold off on the videos like that for a while before you post them.
Yeah.
Here's the last part.
Whatever his forte is, Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
I think he may have to stick with that. And I think I agree. They have to bring DC back in to work with you alongside.
Yes. Well,
he is phenomenal,
and me,
man.
yeah, DC's phenomenal. And DC and me having that conversation would have been a completely different conversation. And it would have been better for the sport because look, there's no positive in downplaying the career of Donald Cerrone or what he can do as a fighter. If either you or I was talking about cricket, we were on TV doing commentary on cricket, we would look out of place. It would be fucked up, and real cricket fans would be upset at us, right? Now that's nothing. That's just a sport, right?
Yeah.
You are naked in the most literal sense of the word. You're naked physically, you're naked emotionally. When fighters lose, it's fucking devastating. For Connor to smash Cowboy like that in front of his wife, his kid, his grandma, and then the whole world, like that's you got to have some respect for that man, you know. And this sport demands a different perspective. It's not the same thing as a ball going into a hoop.
No.
It's not the same thing as crossing a line with a football. It's different. It's very intense and very personal. And it's also very fucking dangerous. And to play it off like it's just a game, I don't agree with it. And I just think that we have plenty of fucking people out there that understand the sport. With fighting, like you have to know it or no one's going to respect you.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what you're talking about and you're talking about it in front of millions of people, like, man, that's a bad look for everybody.
Yep.
It's a bad look for ESPN. It's a bad look for him. It's a bad look for the sport. It's like, there's other people that can do this.
Yeah,
man, they was spitting. They was clowning him. They was having fun with it, but they was spitting. This is facts. And like Nino said on the screen, he said it took outsiders to say this about Stephen A. Smith, and basketball players should have been saying it the whole time, right? And I blame Chris Bosh because I remember when Jim Rome had his show, Jim Rome is Burning, and like his whole show was, this is before Stephen A. and Skip Bayless. Jim Rome had got popping before all of them. Jim Rome had a show, and he was trashing players. Like, that's the first dude that was like trashing people. Go look at some old Jim Rome is Burning footage and Google the Jim Rome versus Jim Everett. And Jim Everett was a quarterback. He played for the Rams. He was a journeyman. He played for a lot of other teams. And Jim Rome had been letting him have it, and he was calling him out of his name. I can't remember what he was saying to Jim Everett, but he was calling him out of his name. So Jim Everett came on his show, and he pretty much dared him to say it in his face. And Jim Rome was like, blah blah blah, whatever. And Jim Everett got up and laid them hands on him in a biblical sense. Well, not so much in the biblical sense. He laid them hands on him continuously, right? That's probably the last time he said something about Jim Everett. That's what you got to do. You got to protect your name, right? So I think it kind of died down. People was a little bit more respectable with players because a player, I mean, we bigger than y'all. I come knock you out. What is wrong with you? You playing with my name like that. And then Skip Bayless came along, and he was just calling people out their name. And I remember when Chris Bosh was playing for the Heat, especially after they lost their first series to Dallas, Skip Bayless kept calling him Bosh Spice, like Posh Spice, like the Spice Girl. He was like, you're not rebounding, you're not getting rebounds, you're not scoring in the paint, you're playing soft. I call you Bosh Spice. And that was his thing. He was calling Chris Bosh Bosh Spice almost every other day. And Chris Bosh, I think, tweeted this when Twitter was first popping off, and I think he was saying, hey man, hey, respect my name and all that stuff. And he was like, come on my show, come on my show. So Bosh come on the show, 6'11" Bosh, little short crypt keeper, Skip Bayless, standing face to face. And Chris Bosh tried to be nice and say, look, man, the Bosh name, we're very prideful about my name. It goes back to some prideful people. This name means something to me. I wear my name on my back for my whole family. And, you know, I would just ask you to be respectful to my name and call me what my name is. Figure out another way to critique me, but calling me something different than what Bosh is, that's disrespectful to my entire legacy and my entire family. And Skip Bayless looked this man in his face and said, no, I'm going to call you Bosh Spice whenever you play like Bosh Spice. And I was like, that's when you were supposed to hit him. That's when you were supposed to swing on him. You gotta do something. Or don't come face to face with somebody and demand that they give you respect. And then they say, I'm not going to respect you. And you say, okay, and walk away. Now, I'm all good with, you saying, nah, if I hit him, I'm brainless. But if you hit me, you famous. I get that. I get that whole thing. Right. And of course, the white guy, Jim Everett, knocking out Jim Rome probably wasn't going to end as harsh as a black guy hitting an old white guy like Skip Bayless. So maybe he was thinking. But I guarantee you, if he took one for the team and he put them paws on Skip Bayless, I think Skip Bayless would have calmed down on how he talk about these athletes. And I think there would never have been a Stephen A. Smith talking down the way he talks down on these athletes. I really do think that. Chris Bosh dropped the ball on national TV, dog. Google both of them. Google Jim Everett and Jim Rome, and Google Chris Bosh and Skip Bayless, and watch the differences in both of those things. Very different, right? But nonetheless, what Stephen A. Smith is trying to do is he's trying to take his style of trash talking, not knowing what he's talking about, but trash talking for entertainment. He's taking it to politics. And just like Joe Rogan said with MMA is too much of a real sport. It's real life. These people, he said, they're naked in a literal sense and in a figurative sense. Vulnerable on the field, on the mat in front of millions of people, in front of their family, in front of their kids, getting their ass whooped. Like, your son got to see you get your tail whooped. Your wife got to see you get your tail whooped. That's different from you getting your shot blocked or getting the ball stolen from you or missing a game-winning shot. You still get to go home as a man. But if another man dominates you in the ring, I've seen men get knocked out and laid on top of and not lit up and have to tap out. Do you know how demoralizing it could be for someone to go home to a lady that they supposed to protect, knowing the whole world just seeing you get your lunch ate, including your kid? And you think they go stand and hear Stephen A. Smith telling them they quit and talking trash and not knowing nothing about the sport and can't fight? Stephen A. Smith got out of MMA to save his own life. I really believe that. Somebody would have knocked this man out. He had to get out of MMA. So he's trying to take that to politics. And politics is too much of a real life situation to have a clown in it using talking points and rhetoric and entertainment. It's not a circus, dog. Like, real life people has been affected by this. He's got to get it. They got to push him out of politics ASAP. All right, caller, what's up?
What's going on, man? This T-Ray, man. How you feeling?
I'm good, brother. How you feeling, man? What's your thoughts on this Stephen A. Smith stuff?
Well, I feel like it's the total opposite of what you're saying. They need him in politics. You got to look at the climate of what politics has become. It is a minstrel show. It's all about personalities. It's all about distractions. And what's a better distraction than a loud mouth, know-it-all that don't know nothing? And when you can push that out here on people, you're going to get some people that's going to draw into that. And then you're getting these sound bites, you're getting all this clickbait, and they want to do everything but focus on what's real. Because when you start focusing on what's real, we basically live in third world in a lot of ways. So you got to have some of these distractions. But Trump is the ultimate distraction. Say what you want to about him, like him or hate him. He's the ultimate distraction. And people would rather focus on him being the bad man and not liking him or being in love with him than to focus on our lives and the all of the stuff that's going on with our lives.
When you say they need Stephen A. or a guy like Stephen A., who is the they you talking about?
I'm talking about on a political platform.
Yeah, but who was the they?
Just as far as having him as the candidate out here.
Well, hold on. I'm all right. So us as everyday citizens, me and you, do we need Stephen A. Smith clowning on?
Oh, most definitely not. Most definitely not. We don't.
Who is the they that need it?
I'm saying for the people that generate this stuff, that present these politicians to us, they got to have this variety of a person that's
and the reason why I'm speaking on it is because he's only going to use those diminishing tactics to attack black politicians. Just like he only used it to attack black players.
Of course.
Okay,
so
the reason why I'm bringing it up is because he needs to be ran out of politics if that's what he's going to be doing.
Well, you know what? He will be, but it won't be by us because we don't have the power. We don't stand on nothing, bro. Just think about it. He should have been done. He shouldn't even have the voice he has to destroy sports like he's done. But we don't stand on nothing. We allow it.
I mean, in a way, you're right, but it's not because we don't want to stand on it. It's because We're so
We don't have the power.
No, it's not the power. We do have the power. We're divided. The only it seems like we don't have the power because we're divided. We can't even get everybody to agree that Stephen A. Smith is a bad thing in our community. So hold on. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you an example.
All right.
Kaepernick kneels. A whole movement was started. This was for police brutality. Kaepernick kneeled. A whole movement was started. NFL was against it. You know, white America was against it. Right? Black America was for it. They bring out the clown Stephen A. Smith to talk down on Kaepernick. He tried his hardest to talk down on Kaepernick. Now, I remember family members and close friends and relatives split on the conversation. Kaepernick is doing something that's trying to draw awareness to something that's hurting our community, police brutality. You should stand by that. Most of my friends was like, "Oh, nah, I think like Stephen A. Smith, get your ass out there and play football and work. Don't be disrespecting the flag and kneeling for calls and all this. Don't do that." That was on Stephen A. Smith's side. Then when Jay-Z came in and was like, "We're done kneeling. Let's strike a deal with Roger Goodell." Everybody was on Jay-Z's side. And I'm like, man, who the hell raised these people? So we're split. So we can't even come to a decision as a group and say, this is the way we're going. Because if we did it, it'll work, right? Last thing I say about that, George Floyd, we out there in the streets. We marching, we protesting. We actually worked together for that cause. Then the NBA come out and was like, hey, man, I think we want to daggone do a bubble for the NBA. And Kyrie Irving was like, no. We got an opportunity right now where we can make some noise because we're all on one accord right now. What clown did they parade out there now? LeBron said, oh, nah, we going in the bubble. And when LeBron said we're going in the bubble, half the people follow him, or majority of the people follow him. There was still people like Avery Bradley, Kyrie Irving, Carmelo Anthony, Jonathan Isaac, who all said, nah, I'm not going in the bubble. Yeah, some of those guys stood on business, but most of those guys followed LeBron. So if we can't all agree on what a clown is and what a real cause is, that's why it seems like we don't have power. But if we all came together and said, no, we're not standing for it, it'll work. Stop being easily distracted by people like Stephen A. and LeBron. That's the issue. We don't know who the real people are that got our best interests at heart. That's the problem.
Okay, I give you that. But what I'm saying is we've been compromised a long time. It was long before this. And you can go back into the civil rights movement and Malcolm X days and all of that. But the thing is, people don't tend to go towards the money. And that's basically what you're saying. Because they took the route of, go to work and get your money. Don't worry about this. Do that. Mm-hmm. And it's sad because that's where our people are. And I just come to the conclusion that we're never going to be united because we've been distracted in so many ways amongst ourselves between dark skin, light skin, thick, short, thick, skinny.
But I'm gonna say this, bro. That I'm gonna move to the next caller because I'm trying to get through this. But I'm gonna say this. Right. I wouldn't say we never will be united, but unfortunately, for us to get reunited, it's got to get very bad, right? So if it gets very bad, where everyone knows for a fact that line drawn in the sand is the divider between people that hate us and people that don't, it's gonna be very clear, and it's gonna be hard not to unite. But thanks for the call, bro. I'm gonna get to this next caller. Thank you.
All right, bro.
All right. Caller from Texas, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Will? Just wanted to say I'm enjoying the show. I always do. I normally just watch, but I just wanted to say that Stephen A. is playing a role that a lot of other black folks, a lot of other black, I guess you can say talking heads play, where they basically trying to, I guess the gentleman said divide us, but I think it's more keep people uneducated. I can name a few other people that play the same role, but I'm from Texas and we love Jasmine Crockett down here. So the stuff that Stephen A. talking about is really just not even making sense. he's basically trying to. It seemed like he's trying to push Republicans, but at the same time, he tried to come off like a centrist.
Correct.
I mean, Stephen A. just be all over the place.
All over the place, man. All over the
so
place. And listen, after he said that nonsense, and everybody clowned him, he had to go back and do his research, and he tried to come back and clean it up on his podcast, and say that Jasmine Crockett has written 287 bills, and she's only been in Congress for a short time. She's written 287 bills, and 10 of them has become a law. She's a former lawyer, right?
Facts.
And
Facts.
And he had to come out and do his due diligence. And you mean to tell me you went and tried to trash her for not working before you actually did that research, and then you had to do that research after the fact and come and reshape your statement? That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah. And Jasmine Crockett way more educated than Stephen A. Smith. Like we can't even get into that, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like just pure madness, bro. Pure madness. Like I just wish he just stick to sports. And honestly, he need to leave that alone sometimes too.
Yeah, he need to leave. He need to leave sports, man. He need to go to the soap operas and just do that and play that role. Did you know?
What I'm saying?
Did you know he got Big Gangs fired down at Winston-Salem State? Big Gangs is a legend down there.
I did not know that.
Yes, so Big Gangs was old as hell, and you know what I mean. And he was still coaching. He was old. Stephen A. Smith was a journalist down there at Winston-Salem State. He was on the team. He wasn't getting playing time. This man wrote a story exposing Gaines, saying he was falling asleep on the bench during the game. He said he's too old. He said he's too. Google this. He said he's too old to hold this position as coach. And the article that he wrote got this man fired, dog.
Yeah, that's madness, bro. I don't even know what his role is, bro. Stephen A. Like sometimes I ain't gonna say I'm not entertained by him sometimes, but other times it's just like, bro, what are you even doing? Like, what's your purpose? You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go ahead and let you get to the next caller, bro. LeBron trash, of course, but enjoying the show, man. Keep cooking.
I'm glad you called in from Texas, man. I'm glad you called in to say, hey, y'all loved her down there, man, and I appreciate that perspective, man. Appreciate the call,
bro, for sure. Take it easy.
Yep. All right, I can get one more call, y'all. One more, and then we gotta move to Kevin Durant, y'all. One more call. Yeah, Stephen A. is crazy, man. Somebody Google that. What happened with Big Gangs down there in Winston-Salem State, man. This man wrote a daggone article. Caller from Texas, what's up? Y'all love Jasmine Crockett down there?
Man, you know we do.
Man, tell me something. Tell me something I don't know about Texas and Jasmine Crockett.
Hey, no. See, this is the thing. She's bold. She's intelligent. She's young. Energetic. She's about that life. When I mean that life, she's in the books, them law books.
Yeah.
Like you said, how many bills she's written, how many have gone into law. The dude the Republicans got in over her committee, in the oversight committee, the one who was in that Ohio State wrestling sex scandal, the one that don't wear his jacket. He's the chairman of the committee. He has never put anything into law. He's never written a bill that's gone into law. See, that's what I'm saying. When you get these Sambos like Stephen A. Smith up here talking mess, I mean, again, like you said, if you decide you want to try to come out against somebody, at least do some research. At least do the bare minimum.
But he ain't been in an environment where he was forced to do research. He's able with basketball and football. He's able to just go out there and just try. Like that's why he don't talk much about NFL, because he don't have a lot of players he can just trash. Only thing he can do is pick on the Dallas Cowboys and be like, the Cowboys, and put his little cowboy hat on. That's it. That's his only gimmick.
Cup up Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers and trash the Cowboys.
That's all he got for the NFL. After that, he got to invite Cam Newton or Michael Irvin on. With basketball, he always pick a black player to target.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing, brother. I appreciate you bringing this up, because this is we've had this conversation over the years. You know this about we've talked offline. We've talked about this type of stuff. When it comes to our sisters, we cannot allow than to be out there by themselves because they're the most hated, the most you know what I'm saying? The public thinks they're number one, they think we're public property. That we're there to be abused. That's why the cops treat us the way they treat us, and all this other stuff is historical. But the point is, with our sisters, they got to know that we got our back. And for a black man or whatever the heck he is, now I don't know if he's one of us or if he's a first generation from the Caribbean or whatever. I don't know what his deal is.
His family from the islands. I think he's first generation.
That I always got that vibe off of him because that's how they do. That's some of the stuff they come out their mouth with, because again, they don't really truly understand the struggle. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't have it in their bones. They don't have it on this land. They don't have the situation. So they like to take the colonizers, they want to do a job for the colonizers. Like you said, do a job for your boss. And so when it comes to us, we gotta stand up. We gotta be counted. Cause like people need, I mean, you and I, we retired from the military. And I'm right now horrified. We got military people in U.S. cities.
Bro, we
you and I both know.
And we also got military people standing in the welfare line too.
Exactly.
Because they was about to miss a paycheck. And look, and we also got military people that's retired that don't know if they go come after that. They talking about coming after Social Security. I wonder, can they retroactively take people retirement check? Because I heard in Project 2025 they're trying to make it to where if you collect disability and a retirement check from military, that you can't get both. So I guess they go offset at some point.
Well, I don't know how they're gonna do that, because that's a law. That was passed.
Bro, you know how many laws they breaking?
Brother, I'm with you. No, trust me. I do not doubt. Like I said, I'm horrified with what's been going on right now. But the thing is, with these black conservatives, especially these jokers on YouTube, the communities understand who we're dealing with. All right, they're making money off of this stuff. See, if you go at the black community, or in this case, a black woman, that's how you can monetize. That's the easiest. See, they don't. If you ever notice, whenever they start talking, they ain't got nothing. They ain't got no kind of solutions. All they're gonna come up with, say something about responsibility, take accountability, or some BS like that.
Correct.
Not even understanding what the situation is.
Correct. Understanding
accountability. What the heck? You act like these people have property. You act like these people don't have generational wealth.
They using Stephen A. Smith like they used to use Jesse Jackson. As soon as something happened, Rodney King get beat up, we start rioting. Hey, Jesse Jackson, man, do what we pay you to do, and get out there and say a speech that's gonna calm your people down. And
they got them. They out there. But I'm talking like especially on this YouTube, the YouTube streets. You got a lot of people that are out there monetizing this stuff. Of course, freaking twins that don't seem to know how to get the edges right, the lineup right. You got this dude named Stevie somebody or other.
Yeah,
he's a straight up bust.
I seen him too. Yeah. I know. I don't seen all them dudes, man. I know who they is.
Yeah, like I said, but we gotta. I said I appreciate what you're doing, man. Seriously, because like this is some stuff right here. This is some stuff right here that's got to be.
Yeah, for sure. And I tried to stay away from it, man. I watched it for 2 weeks in a row and was like, man, I can't talk about that. I can't talk about that, man. I don't want to lose my the people that show up for sports, man. I don't want to sour the milk and start talking about this serious stuff, man. So
sometimes we gotta get serious, brother.
Yeah,
sometimes we gotta get serious, man. And again, I'm not trying to throw everybody in the same saying everybody's like everybody from the Caribbean or from Africa or whatever is but they ain't like us.
Y'all,
you know what I'm saying? They ain't got it in the bones.
You ever wonder
in the bones like us?
Let me ask you this, Jeff, before you go. You ever wonder how the Reverend Al Sharpton or the Reverend Jesse Jackson got their money? Like, they ain't had no job and there was reverends with no church.
No. Jesse Jackson did have a church.
When?
In Chicago. No, he did.
He preached there?
Chicago. Yeah.
I ain't know that.
No, he did.
Okay.
I mean, but you got to remember, Chicago, it's a like a triangle thing. You had Jesse Jackson, you had Farrakhan, and I think his name was Wright, Reverend Wright, the one that was
I remember Wright.
Obama's
Yeah.
preacher.
Mhm.
They were like that was a mecca for things. And again, I get what you're saying when it comes to Jesse about some stuff, but no, see Jesse, he
Messy Jesse.
Well, yeah, that's the thing that pissed me off about him. He got messy there at the end, you know, had a baby out of wedlock and stuff, and that kind of threw me off because, you know, I'm basically one of those people that believe you preach it, you need to live it type thing. But
Yeah.
but anyway, but I mean, but his thing was more along the lines of moving things forward progressively. So I give him that. But yeah, you're right. There were some things, but these progressive, I'm sorry, these conservative ones, not they're just here to sell us out. They're here to monetize off of us.
That's a fact.
You know,
That's a fact.
for the white man, you know, up here talking about Charlie Kirk was such a good
All
guy.
right, look, don't even bring that name up, man. Don't even bring that name up. Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic. But
yeah, well, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Hey, but yeah, I appreciate you bringing it up, brother.
No, for sure, man. Thanks for the call.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
Out here.
All right, y'all. Let's get off this topic, man. Let's go into Kevin Durant. And so the starting five, I don't know when it airs on Netflix, but it's the second season. The first season was pretty good. The second season has Halliburton, SGA, Kevin Durant, James Harden. I can't remember who the fifth guy is. Maybe Sabonis. I'm not sure. That's the starting five this season, and they already released some of the snippets. And man, you got to hear what Kevin Durant was saying, man. And I can't wait. This is a good way to tease this season because I'm interested in that conversation. Kevin Durant started the conversation, and James Harden kind of chimed in as well when they was talking about James Harden leaving OKC. I don't know if y'all heard this yet, but listen to Kevin Durant talk about how he feels like Wade and LeBron were instrumental and getting James Harden to leave OKC, and they were very happy once he left.
What pissed me off is like Bron and D Wade and so many dudes around the NBA sending tweets out like, "Congrats to my bro James. He got his, like, he going to Houston. He gonna kill it." When they was just happy that we wasn't together no more. They was so happy. I know Bron and them was so fucking happy that we wasn't together no more because we was on their ass. Everybody in the league was like, "Man, James, I'm so happy you in Houston, man. You gonna kill it, bro, my bro." I was like, shut the fuck up. Y'all just fucking scared. Y'all knew we was on the way.
So that was a short snippet, but pretty much. So when James Harden was a sixth man for OKC, he was doing phenomenal work. I guess the reason why they brought him off the bench is because they were starting Cephalosha, who was a defensive specialist. And I guess if you're getting points from KD and you're getting points from Westbrook in your starting lineup, it's kind of redundant to have James Harden out there. So they did the Ginobili thing with him. You know, just like Ginobili would come off the bench for the Spurs and be a spark, and he'd come out and get his 20-point steal. That was doing that with James Harden. And it would have worked if they could have kept doing that, you know, just like, you know, Bruce Bowen was a defensive guy. You know, Cephalosha was a defensive guy. So I think that would have worked if they kept James and he continued to be a six man. They went to the finals. James was very young, probably 21. I think Westbrook might have been 21, 22 maybe. And Kevin Durant was the oldest one that was probably 23 at the time. So they very young, way before they prime. They get all the way to the finals with that squad. And it's time to re-sign Harden. And they was getting close to the money, but I think they said, Kevin Durant said that they went and played in the Olympics, and Harden, Westbrook, KD is there, and Wade, they just played Wade and LeBron in the finals, and you know it was a battle. You know, Miami Heat ended up winning convincingly though, but you know they was a super team in their prime playing against three guys who are before their prime who got all the way to the finals. So if they stay together, it's gonna be trouble for the league. So Wade and LeBron got very strategic in telling James Harden, man, you better than 6-man, dude. You need to go get your own squad. And that's what KD is talking about. And he said once he finally decided that he wasn't going to accept the money from OKC, he was going to test free agency. And once he signed with Houston, he said Wade and LeBron was tweeting all happy. Yeah, you about to go eat. You go out there. That's my dude. That's my teammate. How y'all talking about some, yeah, my dude James Harden about to go eat? And he said it pissed them off how happy they was because they knew what they had split up and they knew that the Thunder was on the rise, right? Perkins came to that team that year as well, and he got a perspective on it. And this is how he talked about it.
You were on the Oklahoma City Netflix season 2, starting 5 is coming out. There were some clips dropped this morning. Did you see the clip from Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
This one right here. What pissed me off is Bron and D Wade sending tweets out. Congrats to my bro, James Harden, when he was shipping out to Houston. I know Bron and them was so fucking happy. We weren't together no more. We were on they ass. Y'all just scared. Is there truth to that? You were in that locker room, right?
He fucking knew before this. He fucking knew before James and the tweets came out before James left. KD came back. They were all at the Olympics, right? There just one gold. James was there. KD was there. Russ was there. And we went into training camp and KD was like, bro, we're going to lose James. And I'm like, what you mean? It's like, bro, we're going to lose James. And I was like, why? He was like, Bron, D Wade, all of them was telling him that he needed his own team. That he needed his own team.
People don't understand the psychological warfare that goes on
that
out
he
there.
needed his own team and this, that, and other. So I'm like, nah, man, JH. And then all of a sudden, the contract negotiated started. And so I went to like holler at James, like, what's up? He was like, nah, I want the max. I want to be a franchise guy. So
and
right
wrong with that?
But again, like I understand living in the past, but like going back and revisiting the past. But if you ask James right now, would he have rather stayed in Oklahoma or had the career that he had when he left? I guarantee you he would have took that career in that path. Because I knew he was going to be good. I didn't know he was going to be great.
So, boy, we talk about getting it in the sleazy way. So we got LeBron leaving Cleveland in a sleazy way with the decision to join a super team in Miami with Wade and Bosh, right? And getting 2 cheap rings the sleazy way. But while he was in Miami with that super team, he also tried to get Carmelo there at one point. He also tried to get CP3 there at one point. So not only did he want to win with a super team, he wanted to win with a super duper team. Talk about a sleazy way. Then once he seen Wade getting older, he left the Heat to go back to Cleveland with a young stud in Kyrie, and then traded the rookie they just drafted for Kevin Love. And then when they wasn't clicking the way he wanted them to click, they do a midseason trade and take all the help, Iman Shumpert, J.R. Smith, Timothy Mozgov, from Carmelo to put on his squad. Knowing that's your friend in the East, you want to compete against him. Nah, forgetting competing. I want the guys that you got as role players as my role players. Even though I already got a superstar in Kyrie and a all-star fringe superstar, maybe, did he reach in Kevin Love? I already got this and I got my role players, but I want more role players. I want J.R. Smith. I want Iman Shumpert. I want Miles guys. Give them to me for little or nothing. Did that in a sleazy way. Then he left there, and before he left, he gets Isaiah Thomas because he was trying to sneak in the background and have Kyrie traded before it was contract time, because he didn't think that if Kyrie got the max that they was going to be able to afford to keep certain players. So, hey, man, what have y'all thought about trading them? And he probably, I don't know what the name was that he wanted, but it was probably Chris Paul because he wanted him in Miami. So he probably was going to trade Kyrie. Kyrie found out about it and was like, nah, trade me now. Don't wait the contract year. Don't wait the next year. Trade me now. Right? And he gets traded, gets Isaiah Thomas. And then in the offseason, they get Derrick Rose and D Wade. And he couldn't even play with them the whole season. Traded all of them at the deadline. And that's supposed to be your boy, D Wade. He could have went to Chicago and went home and played. Maybe his sons would have, they would have seen daddy a little bit more if he would have went to Chicago earlier. But he came to Cleveland to play with you, and you trade me at the half. And didn't tell D Wade you was trading him, just like you didn't tell him you was leaving Miami. All of this he's doing in the sleazy way, and now we finding out that this man was the one who put the poison in James Harden's ear to leave OKC so he can split up that young core. Bro, I made a G today, but you did it in a sleazy way. This man is a sleazeball. Like, there's no other way to put it. This man is a sleazeball, man. But LeBron is LeBron. That's my dog. But just thinking about how things would have been if Harden would have stayed with OKC, man, who knows what would have happened. First and foremost, the Thunder did some great drafting, bro. They got Westbrook. KD was a can't miss player, but for you to find Westbrook and Harden, even though Harden was a lottery pick too, but nobody remember him at Arizona State actually he didn't have one of those March Madness tournaments where he just went off and put himself on the map. You get what I'm saying? He didn't have one of those moments like Steph, or like I think D Wade had a moment like that at Marquette as well. Like, he didn't have one of those runs. So you can say he was a little under the radar, but like he was a lottery pick. But dang, you go find that gem in Harden, you go find Westbrook. I don't know where you found Ibaka at. You found Ibaka. Jeff Green was at Georgetown. I remember him beating the Tar Heels handedly in the tournament. You get Jeff Green. You missed on Robert Swift, but he was a high school player, athletic. He was kind of like Chet Holmgren before Chet Holmgren without the perimeter skills. Tall, skinny white kid that was athletic, can dunk and stuff like that. That was finding some gems. Eric Maynor coming out of was he VCU? Maybe VCU. Eric Maynor, I think he beat Duke by himself in a tournament. You get Reggie Jackson, you find him out of Florida State. Like, they was getting some gems, dog. But I think the first mistake was letting Jeff Green go. But they didn't know what to do once they got Ibaka. I think they had to let Jeff Green go because he was playing power forward for them, and I think they wanted Ibaka for his shot blocking and his length. But Jeff Green was he was a bucket, dog, at 6'8", 6'9" at power forward, but he was really a small forward. Like when he went to Boston, they had him playing 2 and 3. Like, he was a wing. But he played power forward at Georgetown, played a little power forward with Kevin Durant and OKC. I would have loved for them to stay together, but Serge was good. But if they could have kept Jeff Green, man, thinking about that depth lineup, if you play Jeff Green, Ibaka at 5 and KD at the 3, those three as your fourth court, and then Westbrook and Harden, would have been insane. Would have been insane, man. But letting Jeff Green go was the first mistake, but it wasn't horrible because you had Ibaka. But then letting James Harden go was the straw that broke the camel's back, really. Like, you was just in the championship. Why would you let that go? But James Harden not feeling comfortable in the role of 6-man, like, he didn't want to get caught in that, because once you do it, if you let Jamal Crawford and Lou Will explain it, how once the coaches found out you was okay with that 6-man role, that's all they signed you for. They automatically got you marked as the 6-man when you get there. Like, you perfect in this role, like an actor typecast himself. You do the same thing with that. So you never seen nobody give Jamal Crawford a shot at starting. Same thing with Lou Will. Same thing with Ginobili. Once you embrace that 6-man role, you stuck. And James could have got stuck. And we never would have seen what he did at Houston. And that was good to see. Right? But you can't help but to think what would have happened if he would have embraced that 6-man role and been what Ginobili was to San Antonio to OKC. We never know. Right. Greg said, let me call in on this topic before we close out. Okay. Yeah. Call in, Greg. I'll put the number up. I'll take 2 phone calls on this one. Shout out to Greg Anderson, though. RT the brand said LeBron loves the game of basketball. Yeah, he loves it. Yeah, he do. I guess he won't retire. He won't retire, man. Caller from Illinois, what's up?
Hey, this is Greg Anderson. What's going on, big man?
What's popping, man? Long time no hear from. What's your thoughts?
Man, bro, I've been on the grind, Jack. I've been on the grind.
Good.
Hey, look, all these goofy videos, they done paid off, man. I'm out here doing content for these politicians and businesses and all of them, so I don't get a chance to sleep. But I'll be listening in on the playback, though.
Yeah,
man.
I love it.
Smoking.
Yeah, I love it.
Hey, check it out. LeBron's still a sleazeball, bro. Okay? Let's start going backwards. The same thing he did with Harden, he did the same thing with Anthony Edwards. Remember talking about the face of the league? Oh, you don't want to be the face of the league.
Yeah.
All they do is LeBron is a sleazeball, bro.
That's funny, man. That's
so
funny,
ain't nothing changed. The only thing changed is he did the same thing with AE. Oh, and let's talk about OKC. The reason why they traded Jeff Green, if you remember, they were building their team to go against the Lakers, the Twin Towers. They had Bynum and Gasol. So they got rid of Jeff Green and brought in Perk so they can have Perkins and Ibaka. They didn't see Miami coming. And that's what happened. That's kind of what forced that decision.
That makes sense.
They were thinking about what's now and not what was next. Because what came next was that small ball era.
Yep.
That depth lineup era. And Jeff Green would have been perfect.
Perfect for it.
that
Okay,
role.
see, yeah. Jeff Green and Serge would have been perfect for that.
Yep. But they ain't see that coming. But your boy LeBron, let's get back to him. I'm sick of people making all of these excuses for LeBron. I've never heard this many excuses for somebody that is not a winner. It's like, oh, he didn't have enough help. Did you realize last year he had 2 20-point per game scores? Austin Reeves averaged 20 points a game. Man, when has Mike ever had somebody that averaged over his third score averaged over 16 points a game?
Never.
And even listen, and then they always want to talk about Scottie Pippen. I love Scottie to death. I'm from the shop. I done watched his whole career. Man, if Scottie Pippen played like he was supposed to play, Mike had 9 rings. Because he showed some of these. I remember I was in 5th grade. Scottie Pippen is the only basketball player that ever made me cry. He choked so bad in a game 7. I remember it was the first time my mama let me spend the night over somebody else's house. And we was watching the game, and Pippen was just choking. He was like 1 for 19 or something like that. I cried, bro.
Oh, man.
That might have been the last time I cried in real life, man. Scottie Pippen, man. So if he played like he was supposed to play, Mike could probably have 10 rings.
You remember this graphic right here from '96 finals?
Oh man, I'm on my phone, so
okay.
I can't even see it.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll watch it on the playoffs. Hey, but Scottie Pippen, look, if he played with LeBron would have had his ass traded right after the playoffs.
Easy trade.
Easy trade. Or if he would have kept him on the team, guess what Scottie would have been? A 3-and-D player. Because he would have just been camped out in the corner because LeBron is ball dominant. Pippen wouldn't have had the chance to be Pippen. Lamar Odom wouldn't have had the chance to be Lamar Odom.
No.
That's why I know that. Like a lot of these players that you just think that like if I swap LeBron with this player, with Kobe, with Mike, the Bulls would have won. He would have won 6 titles too.
No,
he
sir.
wouldn't have.
No, sir.
No, because this is his style of play, and he's uncoachable. So we don't know that. We don't know what kind of coach that. What's this guy, David Black?
Mm-hmm.
Look, he had the same amount of experience that Phil Jackson had. When Phil Jackson came to the Bulls, he was a CBA coach.
Yeah. He actually had more experience than Phil because he won a whole lot overseas. Phil didn't win that many times like Black did.
Yes. So man, I'm just sick of the narratives. I'm sick of these people like dancing around the truth. Tell the truth, man. Your boy underachieved.
He did.
That's just what it is.
He
like
did.
even when he went to Miami, talking about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bro, you got 2 rings.
Yeah, that's crazy. And look, and he know he underachieved. That's why he's still playing, trying to collect more data and stats for everybody to. I guess I don't know. I guess he's trying to create some type of separation between him and the next guy with stats, and that he's making up for all the failure he had.
Failure. I'm talking about like LeBron, type of cat or whatever. Like, he's the type of cat that been married 3, 4 times, bro. It's like, dude, just be single, man. Just be single. Go to church. Go to church. And become a minister, man. Hey, you can't just go family to family to family to family, bro. Just give it up, bro.
Hey, ain't that what that dude was doing in that movie? Stepfather.
Yeah.
As soon as the family ain't perfect no more, he kill everybody and leave and go start a new family. That's what LeBron doing.
Hey, look, LeBron cannot be the GOAT because of accountability. Accountability, right? Anytime you hold him accountable, he runs. If you call him a bitch, he runs. Dwight Howard. Look, that's what messed up his 6 rings. Because if he kept Dwight Howard on the team,
they would have ran
that would have been his answer for Jokic.
They would have ran it, dog. Yep.
Yeah, hey, look, the C is cookies. When Pat Riley didn't give him a cookie, and he got so mad. He got mad over some cookies than he did over San Antonio Spurs running. You know what I'm saying? A next level offense on them.
Yeah, and a dominant 2 on them, or they ran a box and 1 on them, and the 1 wasn't guarding them.
The 1 wasn't guarding.
They ran a box and Rover on them.
Right. Hey, and the D, why he can't be the GOAT is defense. The man don't play defense.
No, he don't. He plays selective D.
It's simple as ABCD. It's as simple as ABCs why he can't be the GOAT, man. Accountability, bitches, cookies, and
defense.
Hey, man, I'm gone, man. I listen to y'all, man.
All right, man.
Love, bro.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
It was one caller from Utah that was trying to call in, man. I if you can call in right now in the next 10 seconds, I take the call. But if not, I'll move on to the last topic. It's been a fun stream, y'all. Y'all been holding down for the boy. Oh, it's Kentucky. Hey, Utah, you ain't get in, dog. Kentucky got in here before you did. Caller from Kentucky, what's good?
Hey, what up, man? Good to be on the show again.
What's good, man? What's your thoughts, bro?
So this is what I gotta say about the whole thing. Now, I gotta say I'm a Cavs fan, and I will honestly say I apologize for what LeBron has done. But with all seriousness, though, no, the whole case with like Kevin Durant and what he said about the Olympics and everything with LeBron and D Wade, like talking in Harden's ear and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's some like grimy crap there because, you know, I can understand having an advantage and maybe trying to do stuff like that, but like, you know, you wouldn't hear something like from past players like trying to get into people's ears in that sense and like destroying a team in terms of what they had going for them. Because to a certain extent, he kind of did, in some ways, kind of messed up a possible dynasty. Even though the Thunder was a great team and they had deep playoff runs, if they would have probably kept Harden, they probably could have won a finals or 2. Maybe they could have beaten LeBron and everything. But with that happening, I feel like they probably didn't have like that score like they did with Harden.
Right.
At the same time, too, if Harden doesn't go to Houston, there's a possibility he might not become the star that he is.
Correct.
And you know, in certain regards,
I mean, but what's wrong? Ginobili still made Hall of Fame. I mean, if he would have won, like he wouldn't have been the Harden we know of now that got all the scoring titles. But maybe he has multiple rings with OKC as a 6-man, like Ginobili did with San Antonio, and he gets in the Hall of Fame that way.
Yeah, like he would still get in the Hall of Fame, and I think in certain regards, it probably would be better on his resume and like what he was able to accomplish. Like, it's great to have the MVP. It's great to have the 6-man and everything, but like most people, they're gonna remember titles and everything. So like in regards to Ginobili, yeah, he could have went to another team and started, but does he have the success like he does in San Antonio?
No, he wouldn't. Not the winning. Not at all.
Yeah. So in regards, they would still see him as like a great player, but not have them titles. And I think the case being is like with Harden, I can understand where he's coming from because it's like, you want to be the man, you're still young and everything, but they had something good going. And maybe if he was probably a little older, he probably would have maybe just been like, well, let me be the 6-man and maybe we can win the titles. If it doesn't work, then I can understand leaving then and wanting to leave.
Yeah.
Like still like good.
Yeah.
But in regards to that, I can understand where like KD might have some issue with LeBron. They like in regards to him leaving OKC himself and going to Golden State. I know he said because of LeBron, that's why he decided to make that decision.
Yeah.
So in some regards, maybe that was kind of like a get back at LeBron for what he did.
That's a good point. I mean, that was his motivation, man. Like, dang, man, like you had a super team in Miami. I faced you. You got the ring. We didn't get it, and we didn't get a chance to run it back because you got my guy to leave. And now I got an opportunity to make sure that the team that you done formed in Cleveland don't make a run. I'm gonna go join the team that you just beat and make sure you don't win again. And that's what he did, man. But that's a good point, man. I appreciate the call, man. I'm gonna take one last call and I'm gonna get to the last topic and we out of here, man. Thanks for the call, bro.
I'll say there. Oh, one last thing too.
Yeah.
In regards with LeBron as well, he is like trying to make up. Like I know you said something about him getting the stats. There's good things and bad things. Yeah, he'll have like a big boost on like his overall points and assists and everything. At the same time, too, he's also hurting himself because he has more missed shots and more turnovers.
And more turnovers.
He might end up having 6,000, and no one won't catch him for that.
No, that's for sure, man. All right, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's welcome. Have a good night. Be safe.
All right, Aaron, call in, big dog. Let's get this last call. Come on, Aaron. I bet you Aaron let the caller from South Carolina beat him. Let me Aaron. I knew it. The caller from Florida. Come on, Aaron. I'm trying to get you in here. You keep getting beat to the punch. Come on, Aaron. Call in. Call in. Call in. There we go. All right, Aaron, cut YouTube off in the background. Go ahead. You got the floor.
Hey, man. What's going on, Mel?
What's poppin'?
I've been trying to get that caller before. He said exactly what I was trying to get on and say. Man.
Okay.
Now that we're hearing that from KD, that because I lost all respect for KD for what he did when he left OKC and went to Golden State. I still kind of feel a way about that, but now it all makes sense.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It makes sense now because it puts everything, okay, KD's still holding on to that. Like, man, we had something special at OKC, but listening to them guys over the summer in the Olympics, boosting Harden head up,
it was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? It do make sense because, dog, he is worth the money, but man, we got something special. And so I don't understand Kendrick Perkins' whole, the way Kendrick Perkins started it off, like, man, Kendrick, like, to me that didn't make any sense. Like, why you even starting your statement off like that? Like, if KD came to you and was like, yo, I think we're going to lose James Harden. Like, I don't understand why Kendrick don't feel a certain way about it. Because he's a LeBron guy.
Yeah, he's a LeBron guy. And he was in the room with Richard Jefferson and Channing Frye and they're all LeBron guys too. Like if I would have played the rest of that clip, you would have heard Channing Frye and Richard Jefferson giving Kendrick Perkins pushback, trying to vouch for LeBron like it wasn't a bad thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that don't make it. I'm like, why is it Kendrick kind of upset about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it makes me look at Draymond Green differently now. Well, I always look at him differently now. And I'm like, damn, is Draymond playing? Is Draymond like, is he like the mole to help keep Golden State from?
The way Draymond act is if he let LeBron clap at some point, like, you know, it's like that's what it's given, and I just don't see it no other way. Like I don't see how you could be all for this dude like that. Like that's weird energy, dog. Like,
I'm looking at Steph. I'm like, Steph, bro, you the alpha male on the team, dog.
No, he's not.
Like,
no, he's not.
I get the quiet. Well, he should be. He should be.
Yeah, but he's not.
But the thing is, bro, you like all this quiet, all this being quiet and nonchalant. Bro, I would have been had Draymond shit that long time ago, man.
Facts.
Like, nah, we gotta do something. We gotta get this guy out here, man. Well, this guy, he in the bed with the enemy. Like Project Pat says.
I bet you Draymond could just move into Steph's house without his permission right now, and Steph would never kick him out.
Probably, man.
I think you can.
Hey, and back to, if you remember Jackie McMullen, you remember she used to work for ESPN.
Yeah.
She broke the story. A source had told her that Cleveland was shopping Kyrie Irving for Eric Bledsoe and Paul George at that time. Because Eric Bledsoe was part of Clutch. And so it was right after when LeBron in that post interview was like, we need another playmaker. And, you know, everybody was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? How you throw your team under your bus, especially Kyrie, after he just hit that big shot to win y'all a championship. You mean to tell me you need another playmaker? And then shortly after that, that's when everything unfolded. And then Kyrie was like, nah, get me out of here.
Sheesh.
Because word, that was the rumor. Jackie, I still got that thing saved to my phone because LeBron fans be trying to give me pushback on it. But nah, Jackie McMullen came, she wrote an article saying that a source came out and said that they were looking to try to acquire not Eric Bledsoe. What was the young Bledsoe cat?
Eric Bledsoe, but you talking about he played for the Pacers with Paul George? It must have been George Hill then.
It was Paul George, and what was the Bledsoe kid? He was super athletic, man.
That's Eric Bledsoe.
That was Eric Bledsoe. Yeah, him. Yeah. Yeah. So she broke that story, man. But like I said, it gets covered up because, like you said, LeBron's a sleazy guy.
Yeah,
he's a sleazy guy, man.
He is,
and
for sure.
And I can't wait. I can't wait to hear more about the AD thing because the Morris twin, he let it slip. We haven't heard no more from him after he let that slip.
Yeah, facts.
But that's going to come out.
Facts.
That's going to come out later, and I can't wait to hear that, man.
Facts.
Like, all you LeBron fans, man, your boy is a sleazy narcissist, man. He's a sleazy cornball narcissist. That's exactly what he is, man.
For sure. All right, man. Thanks for the call, man. I'm going to move to this last topic and get out of here.
All
right, bro. Yep. Good calls. Hey, this is a long show, y'all, but we go ahead and end it, man. About 10, 15 more minutes. This last topic, man, I just thought this was kind of funny. I won't be long on this. I won't take no phone calls, but I thought this was funny, right? So Anthony Edwards, man, you know, he's a funny guy. He's charismatic. You know, he's outspoken. You know, he likes to laugh and play around and stuff like that. On his YouTube channel, he got something what they call the Believe That Award Show, right? If you go to Anthony Edwards on YouTube, I think that's the name of his channel. It's just Ant Edwards. And he was doing the first annual Believe That Awards, and he was giving out random awards, right? And he was giving out Hater of the Year. And believe it or not, man, this man gave Stephen A. Smith, Charles Barkley, Noah Lyles, and Magic Johnson Hater of the Year. It was the funniest thing in the world, man. But this just kind of goes to show you, I guess some people got an issue with Ant Edwards with a maturity, right? Remember, he said that nobody was skilled and could play ball back in Jordan's day. He was the only one that was skilled. And all the old heads came out, was like, man, you like learn your history, man. This is very disrespectful for you to say about our era. Like there was nobody else that was skilled other than Mike. Like, are you studying? Are you watching this? Right. So he has a maturity level that should be higher. This is just another example of it, but it was still funny though. It was still funny.
I just want y'all to know these next few names. I ain't hating y'all. Fire. Noah Lyles, you fast. You a hating. Charles Barkley, you a GOAT. Honestly, I mean, I had so much respect for you. I still got a lot of respect for you, but it done came.
You used the word like regress for him?
And I shot 40% from three. The man did. What is you talking about? Double team and triple team. Did you get guarded like this? Skip Bayless. Nah, y'all said one more.
Skip Bayless again.
No, Noah Lyles, Skip Bayless, Charles Barkley, Magic motherfucking Johnson. I ain't hating on you. You a GOAT. I never said nothing bad about you, but you. All y'all won. With y'all though, look, for real, this might go viral. I with y'all. I want y'all to know that. Look, you came on here while you was doing the shoot, so I'm a with your campaign.
All right, so they had fun. That was hating, man. I guess the premise of the show, man, he actually invited all the other awards that he had. He invited the people on the stream and they had a conversation about it. Where, you know, his favorite movie was Matilda. So he had the little girl that played Matilda show up and gave her an award as well and had a conversation with her. So it was cool. But this man said Magic Johnson hating that. And there was a lot of cursing that was blanked out, man. He said, all y'all niggas lame. Like he was just going off, man. And I don't know what Magic's going to say when he hear that. I don't know if he's going to hear the way they was having fun with it and laughing and take it lightly. Or what. Magic's a cool guy, so he probably will give him the benefit of the doubt. But like Ant-Man just keep line stepping, man. And I don't think he care. He just keep line stepping, right? But here's the good part. He had Candace Parker on. He gave her like Woman of the Year or something like that, or Podcast of the Year or something like that. And she asked him a question about what he worked on this summer and what can we expect during the season from him. And you might like this answer because this is how I know Ant-Man watched Man Down Sports, because every game that he played against SGA, even before that, I would criticize how many threes he took and how many times he let them off the hook by taking threes, and how it was horrible for him to start his offense with the ball in his hand at the top of the key using a high screen and roll all playoffs. I was like, that's the worst offense you can run as someone of his caliber. Like, he's capable of way more than that. He should play more the way SGA, like instead of trying to get all the way to the rim, that mid-range is your friend. Your back to the basket posting up in the mid-range or the low post is your friend. And that's way better than having the ball at the top of the key using a high screen and roll, right? Which the OKC Thunder showed them that in the conference finals, right? So he must have been watching the Man Down podcast, because listen to what he said he was working on.
Hey, it's only right.
Okay. Hey, I got a question for you. What have you added to your game this summer that you think fans are going to be very surprised at?
Oh no, I can tell them. My mid range, boy, I ain't shot no threes all summer. I mean, I got some for that.
Okay, I mean, I feel like you should take a couple, but
I mean, like, you know, I mix it in around, but like when I'm in that lab, I'm coming all middies.
Said all mid range. He ain't shot no threes this summer. Good way to notice what held you back in the playoffs and make that adjustment. He said that he talked to MJ a lot this summer, and MJ talked about why it's important to have that mid range and how to get to the spots and all of that stuff. And I think it makes sense to Anthony Edwards, and I'm very excited to see what his game looks like utilizing the mid range. Don't forget to use that post game as well, and Edwards, man, and be more like MJ, be more like SGA, be more like Kobe, and you might be the MVP this season, man. So that's my show for tonight, y'all. I'm probably gonna do another show just for the members only tomorrow. So y'all look out for that. And I appreciate everybody who gave super chats, everybody who called in, and all the comments in the comment section, everybody who watched from the beginning to the end. That's dope. It'll be real dope for everybody to hit that share button right now. Make sure you hit the like button for real. I'm pretty sure we had well over 400 people watching at some point. If we could end up with 400 likes, boy, that'd be so daggone dope, man. Like, everybody hit the like button that can hear me right now. Hit the like button, because that's going to help me out, man. So just hit that like button. Make sure you do that. And I guess I'll see y'all probably tomorrow if you're a member. If not, I'll probably see you. What's today? Sunday. I'll probably see y'all tomorrow and then probably Wednesday again. All right. So appreciate everybody, man. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.